Hi everyone, it's me. We're not ending. Welcome to Starlight Company. I'm Jacob. We're the Starlight Company. I already said that. We're playing episode 9 of Godkiller tonight. Austin, start. Wait, don't start talking yet. I gotta find it. I moved around all my scenes in OBS and it fucked everything up. It's your turn, Austin. I don't know.
Oh, I have muffin in my mouth.
Wait, what is? I can target.
All right, see you next week, everyone.
All right, everybody. Somebody give a recap.
Episode 9. There was a muffin.
Just not doing announcements.
Oh yeah, Ronan.
I'm sorry, Austin. I mean, Ronan. I'm sorry.
Goodness.
I'm sorry.
There's your announcement.
Who watches us?
I don't know why I said Austin. I meant Ronan.
Andy, and that's
Andy
it.
does.
Just Andy.
So,
Andy.
Shout out to Andy.
I think we have any announcements really.
What?
Yeah,
Oh my
I was just
gosh.
upset that nobody acknowledged my one thing.
Continuity, come
Sean,
on.
announcement is that Sean hates me. There we go.
Yes. That's not really an announcement. It's just sort of like an underlying theme.
That was the announcement.
I love you, Ronan.
Oh no, everything froze, on me, so I can't. I'm just talking.
You froze. Yeah, you froze in OBS for a second.
That's what I get back to from being frozen. Great. Okay, we're doing game night, but I didn't ask about game night, so I don't know what
Game
we're doing
night?
game night on Friday. But
Game
people
night
will show up
Friday.
We
game
don't
night
know
on
what.
Friday.
Chaos
Oh,
crew, baby.
Let me start with Wednesday, like I normally do. Getting off track here. Austin
Oh my
might do
gosh.
a DM planning. Sometimes
It's
he
already
does.
uploaded.
Uploaded. You can't see it yet, but it'll be there. 8 p.m. Eastern time. Out of this on Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Game night, the best night. Chaos crew back at it again. Who knows what we're doing? Will Austin show up to
Probably
Photoshop again? Probably. Will you
Will
hear his
Austin show up to
disembodied
play
voice while
games?
we're playing games? Yeah, absolutely. He does it every week. Will he play a game with us? Nope, he won't.
Will Austin be there? Yes.
The weekend, I don't think there's anything on the weekend. Monday, rerunning of Fragments, probably. Yeah, because we're doing Fragments next week. New arc! It's time skip.
Time
Fragments. Yeah. See all the cool stuff that happened. If you're not
Yeah.
caught up, go watch it, because it was pretty crazy. A lot of time skip stuff that you'll find out about. We time skip. That's it. That's announcements. Go, Austin.
Somebody give a recap.
Fuck.
Gosh.
What happened?
Why
Because a
We
really
found-
big fight and we fought a lot of people.
found the creepy thing in the attic of the ski lodge.
True.
Tried to get to
Yeah.
work for a while and then gave up on.
No, went to a temple.
I
and
have
some.
fancy new jewelry.
Yes, Maddie got some jewelry. Ring.
I don't remember
You
that.
remember?
I found a ring with a bunch of crows on it.
Crow thing.
Oh, that's right. And Ravane had like a minor panic attack over it.
He chased.
That happens every week.
That's yeah. That could just be at the beginning of the recap.
Any session, yeah. Chased some dudes down the mountain, and we fought some yetis. Well, mainly the other people fought the yetis, and then we kind of just swooped in and
Cleaned
Yeah.
up.
cleaned up the aftermath. Yeah.
To be fair, the Yeti almost one-shot half of us.
True. So true. Yet Steve doesn't look as good.
Bye. Thanks for coming.
Sean.
And that's
why
where
do you
we'll
hate
end
me?
tonight's session. All right,
Can't
you
make
all,
an angry face in real life. I'm too
you all
happy.
get inspiration.
Amazing.
I'm always
Hey.
making the angry face in real life. Maddie would know.
I feel like that's the face Sean makes anytime I type in the Discord.
Yeah, I just Ronan typing anger.
And he's just angry face.
He's just angry.
It's like that NPC meme where the eyebrows just.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that fine. Hold on.
Ronan's typing. All right. Anyway, it is in fact 6:12 p.m. in time for our dick flattenings. So
Goddamn.
let's get started.
That's not a good port.
Let's get started. So, you all are at the bottom of this mountain, or at the bottom of this large hill, surrounded by corpses. Yeti corpses, pirate corpses, questionably monkey corpses, and you have decided to return to the Borealis. Is that so?
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Yes.
Oh, we
Okay.
talked about going back to the Borealis We talked about signaling it. We talked about going back.
I
Didn't
did.
want to set off the pirates.
We said we're gonna go through the mountains or whatever because it'll be quicker, and then that way
Yeah.
we won't have to waste
Yeah.
fuel.
Uh,
I do remember
That's
that.
right. Did I message them, Austin?
Yes. Oh, yes.
you
So,
also yeah, we got that message right at the end
picking up
from.
exactly
yeah.
where we left
Oh,
off
shit.
last week.
That's right.
So
I just
Ravane has
messaged-
just messaged
Oh.
Azaran Delavar and asked a few questions. And the response is, impressive progress. I knew this method would work better. Reavers protect Hearth's interests. Alir is the divine above divines. He created the 8. Keep searching. And that is the message that you got from Azaran Delavar.
Nice.
Surprisingly helpful for such a strange and terrifying person.
Who knows?
Did I send to our captain too, or are we going to the
Yes.
captain? I did.
Well, you sent
to
to
the
him
captain.
saying
oh,
that
I
you're
did.
coming.
That's right. We're coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, are you heading back to the ski lodge, or are you just leaving straight from here?
Don't care
I
about the ski lodge. I don't know
Probably
about anybody
heading
else.
straight
I really
back.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are your travel rolls?
Look.
One I always do. Yeah, what's
what?
the looking one?
Trailblazing.
Look out. Perception check. Trailblaze. I think that's
Survival.
athletics.
Yeah, it was
18
18.
Receive the chat.
up top.
21.
Wait,
Go.
hold on.
Yep, thanks.
Running. Wait.
Okay.
Hold on.
Wait.
No, other
This
way.
way.
Other way. Other way. No. 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 Yeah. Ready?
Travel
Set. 1, 2, 3. Go. We did it, everyone.
Actually looks
Everyone-
pretty good, not gonna lie.
Go.
Back athletics. Glad I figured that out.
Are we doing our travel things or?
Yeah. So
Yes,
I got
Shannon.
3 lookouts, and you're both of you are hunting again. All right. Let me whip out the chart here for hunting. So, with a 16, you both find some small game, some squirrels, some rabbits, maybe even a larger creature, like a, I don't know. What larger creature would you want to hunt?
I mean, you could do like a pheasant
Like a-
or a turkey or something.
Oh,
like
a
that.
turkey would be good, yeah. So you each get 2 rations from this leg of the journey. As far as keeping watch goes, you all are, it's pretty quiet for the most part. You do see that airship off in the distance, swinging to the east as it leaves the Veritor Valley. And it is then heading a little bit southeast, southeast. And for clearing the path, that is a 12, which means that nothing. You do not manage to. You're like trudging ahead, clearing the snow, kind of like pushing through it to give other people behind you an easier path. But you notice that when you're walking forward, all the snow is collapsing back into the trench because you're just that tall. And the snow can't support its own weight, so it helps a little bit, but not enough to significantly help your progress at all. And it is going to take you about 6 days to get back to the Borealis. Do you have anything that you want to do during those 6 days? That isn't normal travel activities. No?
For me.
Okay. Well, 6 days. There's 6 of you. That's 36 rations total.
Supplies.
Are Lila and Kaisa hunting every day?
Yeah.
All right, make 5 more survival checks.
Shit.
How many rations did we get off their last one?
You got 4 total.
So 36. Store.
Okay. 2. Wow, crit fail. Nice. You love to see it.
A crit fail and a crit
And then
success.
natural 20.
Wow.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
I'm all over the
Kaisa
place.
giveth and Kaisa taketh away.
All right. So that is. Let's see here. So that is 3 plus 4, 7 plus 3, 10. That's
Is that
about
including
11
the-
rations total that you guys have managed to hunt. So minus 36. So you use 25 total rations on this journey. So that'll be at the end though. But during your journey, if none of you have anything that you want to do, and you're doing the normal travel activities that you usually do, I'll just take your passives, won't make you roll for them. You do notice about 3 days into your journey, let me forward the days by 3. You are walking along a ridge. There's a ridge above you. You're kind of underneath it to shelter yourselves from the snow and the wind. And whoever's looking out, probably Ravane or Lasco or somebody, would look up and you see figures lined up on the ridge. About 4 or 5 Yetis standing there, just glowering at you. Just staring, like boring holes in the back of your heads as you walk by. They don't really seem to move or anything. They're just watching you as you're trekking along this ridge line. They don't really do anything. Yeah, they just
got it.
They just
Can I
watch.
cast finger word death at one of them?
What the fuck?
I mean,
Just flicking them off.
I don't have
you
it.
could cast one of those words at them, but
I moon
So
the
then we
Yetis as we're
notice, so
walking
can I
by.
just stare back.
you moon
Drop.
the Yeti.
Yeah, just
You're a professor.
one. Yeah.
It's a bad role model. He also advocated for murder, so
I mean,
Multiple
that's
times.
the
I'm
world
not
we
the
live
best.
in.
yeah. So you moon the Yetis. They kind of like look at you in disgust, turn around and leave.
Oh, well, I'm to
Most
leave.
people look at me in disgust, so on brand.
And
Amazing.
yeah, so during your travel, the next 3 days are pretty uneventful. Somebody roll me a D100.
Ooh, me.
Okay,
67.
nice.
2 off of
Give
perfection.
it to me 3 more
65.
times.
Oh gosh.
4 times.
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Wild magic.
The weather is cloudy and clear some of the days, but it does not rain or snow significantly. There are no thunderstorms, unfortunately, for the Borealis. And on the 6th day, you see it up on a ledge in the distance with that strange circular rock formation. It is now
And Johnson.
autumn. The month of
Ah.
harvest.
Are the mountains changing color?
The mountains.
The trees
The
don't change
rock.
color.
Oh, the trees. Yes. So looking down in the valley, you can see that there are splashes of red here and there. A large majority of the vegetation down there is coniferous, but you do see a few splashes of red and yellow here and there. And up in this part of the mountains, it's mostly rocky, so you won't see very many trees changing up here. But in the distance, you can see the Borealis, ropes stretching from the deck into like spikes that have been anchored into the ground. A tarp has been pulled over the top of the ship, and you can see smoke coming out from a little impromptu chimney that's poking up through the tarp. And there's tons of footprints all around the bottom of the ship. And there's you see there is some chairs set up at the rock formation, and you can see 2 figures hunched in the chairs with there's books and stuff scattered around on the floor or at their feet. What do you do?
We are on the ship now.
You are on the ground looking at the ship. You can see there's these two figures sitting in chairs right in front of the rock formation, and then there's the ship, which looks like it's been here a while. A bunch of snow has piled up on it. And...
Do we recognize the two figures?
Yeah,
I was gonna ask.
Aha!
Vaguely. You only met them for a short time, but judging by their attire and their demeanor, you assume that it's the two archaeologists that you had
Okay.
saved from the camp.
Oh, that's right.
Right. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, they're still just hanging out here. They're probably pissed.
They're fine. They're not dead.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they're not, that's,
Stop.
they didn't seem to care earlier.
So what do you do?
Hey, how's it going?
One of them jumps up out of the chair, picks up like a rock, turns around. Oh, it's you. You're finally back.
Yep.
Oh, well, let us, we're leaving right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's freezing up here. We were not dressed for, this high in the mountains. We had to, it's a good thing that mages are pretty good at hunting. Or, we might have starved. Have you seen this rock formation before? It's very interesting.
When we first got here, yeah.
rock.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly, there's some sort of thing hidden in the valley that the Valley people venerated.
Oh.
It's in this box thing that they carried here.
Oh, weird. Crazy.
Yeah. Huh. Well, maybe when the university isn't under attack, we can get a team out here to look for it.
That would be great.
Did you guys find anything interesting in there? How is the valley?
Well, one of
Moon
those.
some Yetis. And by we, I mean I.
That's
Uh,
ballsy.
Oh, more like butt cheeky, but yeah, same thing.
He's right.
balls are probably dang on there too, but
Oh, yeah.
nothing else why you take your pants down.
The way. Goals, baby.
Dropping trout in front of the Yetis.
Yeah. Full display. You're welcome. Ella, that was for you, babe.
Thanks. I appreciated it.
Keel has major bi-wife vibes. What was it? Was it bi-wife vibes or gay wife vibes?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah.
I
Amazing.
don't know about that. Okay,
Anyway, they pack up their gear.
I was gonna
Pick
show
up the
them
chairs.
one of those. I have one of those.
Holy shit, you
Keg.
carried the... Oh.
Oh, that's
I
right.
don't know about the stone pieces, but those might
Oh.
also be good. But I have one of those kegs with the glowy gray dust we found in the
Oh,
that's
yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm.
the crypts, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Since they're apparently mages, they may want to try to take a crack at those.
They're looking at it and they're like, huh. You pop off the cork and look down in it, sniff it.
Pop
Huh.
off, queen.
Some sort of dust.
Thank you for your enlightenment.
No
Insight.
shit.
Yeah, right.
We'll have to take it. We'll have to take it back on the ship to analyze it further.
Good.
Did they sniff it or did they snarf it?
They sniffed it. They did not.
Okay.
What's a oh. We just found magic cocaine. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. It's push.
Oh, this just turned into a fucking
Yeah.
party barge.
You guys just doing lines the whole way to
Be
Jakarr.
rich.
We'll
Oh God, that's right,
signal
we're trying to go
the
through like
crew.
3 continents, aren't we?
We'll signal the crew to let us on board.
Yeah, so they
Yeah.
drop down a rope ladder, and you climb aboard, and you can
How
see
long-
there's yeah.
How long have we been in the valley? Like, how long has it been since we left the ship? Like 2 weeks or 3?
It's been a few
Like-
weeks. Let me check the
Like a month
calendar.
at this point. Feels like.
So you arrived at the Veritor at the 11th of Thunder, and it is now the 2nd of Harvest. So,
so
a little less
almost
than
a month.
Jesus.
Almost a month you've been gone.
Man.
Good job, guys.
And you see the crew is there. Captain Farese is there. You see Rolfo is the one that lowered down the rope ladder. And They have like this little campsite basically set up on the deck of the ship. They have a little stove with a pipe going up into the canopy there. They have some boxes stacked up. They have a little smoking set up with like some pieces of meat hanging over a fire that they're smoking. And they're like, oh, well, we thought that you would never return when we got your message. We were quite glad to hear that nothing bad had happened to you. So you said we're flying south?
Right, so
Yeah.
we're going south to the city
Jakarr.
down there. Yes. Right.
We're going to find Nicki Minaj.
Who?
Oh no.
The one with the cottage cheese sauce.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
that one.
right,
Yeah,
right.
that
Boom, ba-boom,
explains
ba-boom, ba-boom,
everything.
boom, baby.
Right.
Super bass.
I quit.
Wow. Professor Keel, you never cease to amaze me.
I try, kid. I try.
He never started.
On White, please stop bleeding into the game with your hatred for me.
Are you
No.
are you sure that
That will be one. That'll be the defining point of all of my characters. They hate whatever Ronan's playing.
Sean.
hey, it's just like me?
It's not a bleed if I make it canon, Ronan.
They say, are you sure it's wise for us to be going so far away from the university when it's in such danger? I mean, what if they need our help?
They told us to stay away.
I mean, yeah, they say that, but
So we listen. Basic respect, yo. We'll tell you stuff, you listen.
What we've seen of the Fist of Jakarr on one airship's not going to make much of a difference anyway.
Yeah, what are we gonna do?
are you sure it's the Fist of Jakarr?
Can't imagine what else.
Fairly certain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what it is. They told us not to go, so let's listen and not go. Could be Nicki Minaj.
It's also
for all I care.
convenient for us.
I
We're gonna
respect
get
my
paid, right?
elders. I talked to the dean about that.
Well, we
They-
have to buy
Yes.
fuel, you know, like
We'll
if
get
we
you
want to get
paid.
back.
Well, again,
We'll take care of the
I think
fuel.
we're gonna
Fuel.
get
HR
paid
or
if we
whatever.
Go back anyway. I don't-
Right.
Well,
Talking to the wrong people. We're not paying you to begin with. It was chartered by the university, so
yeah, but
Oh,
they only paid us for this trip, and this
And the-
goes beyond our trip. We were supposed to go to the valley and back.
right now there's no going
How
back
much-
to. So
Yeah, so how are we gonna get more fuel if you're not paying us?
Weren't we
Oh,
getting like a
like-
stipend?
Yeah, I can
Yes.
pay for fuel. How much is it, like, usually?
5 flat
For one
Five.
canister,
a day.
It's probably bad.
it's about 50 gold.
Fuck!
I mean, the canisters are also
Never
refillable.
mind.
Yeah, they are refillable. But
That's not
we
good.
usually
We'll
have to
We'll
exchange
go around the edge of the
canisters.
world to get where we're going.
Yeah, go off the edge.
That actually
No, the
sounds
edge is
sick.
infinite.
Well, yeah, but you go like
Really?
around you go around the edge of the world.
Oh,
to
like
stay in the
skirt the
storms.
edge of it.
Yeah, so you can
We
stay in the
only-
storms and keep fueling.
We only have to make it to Jakarr, and then we can charter a boat to where we're going.
But then
After
we're
that-
stuck there.
Right,
oh,
exactly.
then you go back to the university.
With what? With what? We have to buy fuel to go back. We can't just
Listen,
sit around and wait for
I
30 consecutive thunderstorms.
can make a thunderstorm.
Can you?
Oh,
Yeah,
Make a very little thunderstorm.
Lila.
how small are we talking?
Lila, don't talk about how small my thunderstorm is in front of everybody.
Sorry.
Professor, it's not the size that counts, it's how you use it.
Huh.
Didn't he the
You
professor?
see, Garth
Lila has
has
some
emerged
pretty big
from the lower
standards.
decks, covered in soot, hair standing up, and he's tearing down the stuff that they built on the deck and everything to get it airworthy.
About start sailing. I can't do it today, but tomorrow I can make a thunderstorm, and then we can talk about like how good it is.
Okay, if you say so, but I am not washing dishes at some backwater inn in order to fund our airship.
No worries, bud.
No worries, bud.
Oh wow, that puts me at such ease. All right, Krug, you heard them. Set course for Jakarr, I guess.
I guess.
Easy.
And they start getting the ship in motion. What do you guys do while this is happening?
I'll go to my bunk, get all my stuff set up, and then probably start unloading the archaeological finds with the archaeologist or whatever. And Faramel, like talk about what we met, what we saw. Maybe Lila, since she has the rubbings.
Yeah. I'll give him the little jar I had. I have like a little jar and 3 kegs of the gray dust.
Okay.
2 keg stands of glowing gray dust.
Yeah, so they're gonna take your little jar, and one of them goes back into their cabin because she has some instruments there that she can use. And what else are you showing them? What were your other finds?
God, there was a fucking vault.
I thought I had more. I know Lila had rubbings, I think. I have a carving with symbol of ice in temple.
That's
That's the sigil of rage.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well.
I was gonna try to tell them, like, not to really talk about the extra angels and the artwork that she wrote down.
Are you sure that you saw this?
Yeah.
We've never seen these symbols ever anywhere.
No, that's why I drew it. It's...
Are you sure these are right? The Diwali language can be kind of complex.
No, I saw this and I drew this.
See, if you move
wish
this
we had-
line like over here, it means chicken. You know, not a leer. Or whatever that word is.
Well, I drew what I saw, so
Professor Lila was very precise.
if we had the stone to bring back to you, we would, but it kind of didn't make it.
They were... Yeah, it would have slowed us down, probably.
Before we get to the final boss, and it's just a chicken. Austin just baits us, thinking it's like some
Oh
big
my
bad enemy,
gosh.
and it's just a chicken.
Austin just...
calling it no.
Oh shit.
You got me.
Lear's actually one of those dinosaurs that looks like a chicken with a... when you just boil it down to feather and scales.
Yeah.
There's a druid, and he can only wild shape into a chicken. That's his only form. That's the only animal he's ever seen.
Wow. That's a sad existence.
That's...
Raised in Indiana.
What kind of horror story?
Yeah, true. Alright, well, they keep looking at it and like, so Elir is a circle around the other angels, and you're saying that these angels are the ones that are missing.
Right, and Elir is, if you didn't know already, Elir is the creator of all of the others. Hold on, right. Elir is the divine above divines. He created 8, of course.
What?
Didn't you know that?
No, I've never heard of this person in my life.
What kind of filthy historians do you take yourselves for?
Nobody has ever seen this symbol ever.
I have.
Well, so have we just now.
And Azaran Delavar has.
Who?
Oh.
Oh god.
He's in my head, don't
Did you
worry
get in my
about it.
flask again?
No? Alright, I'm gonna go over there. And I walk off.
Divine above divines.
Not sure exactly what it means, but
So, that implies that there was a time without the divines then?
I'm assuming.
Hmm.
Or
Something created them, then it must be very powerful.
and something had to take some of them away.
Yeah, that too. You know, there are some theories that they never even existed in the first place, but if these carvings are true, then we know that something happened to them at some point. But how is it that every single book, every single carving, everywhere on the world never mentions this?
Someone must have
What
wanted
we're
to
trying
keep
to
it
figure
hidden
out.
away. But these were very, very old carvings. If they basically broke the second that they were taken away.
Yeah, they must have. Where did you find them?
Where did we find
Are
this?
these the ones we found in that last temple?
Which one are we talking about? I'm talking about like the Angels one that we found with the
In the vault.
creepy statue guy.
Oh, that was right. That's right. That was the sealed Diwali.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The
Thing
other
on the
one
map?
was the all the symbols in the ceiling.
Oh, with the in the like observatory looking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're talking about the sealed vault one
Mhm.
right now. And you're saying, so what do you tell them about where you found it?
Tell them it was just in the ground. Don't go in like too much detail yet, but
So it was just laying there underground.
well, there were things there to keep people out, but
We
it was
dealt with them.
nothing I don't think anybody could stumble upon by themselves.
So it was locked away.
Hmm.
Hmm.
But it could have been locked away years ago, based on how old it was, but maybe when they were first marked out of the carving entirely.
That's interesting. In this other one, you said that you found this in some sort of ruin on the ceiling?
Hmm.
And these markings, there's 4 of them. And you said these symbols here were next to them.
Yes.
Could they be locations?
Very well might be.
What of what?
I don't think it's anything good out there based on what these symbols mean, but
So we're going to Jakarr. Are we going to go to this one in Salkir?
if we can get
That's the
a
plan.
passage,
We would
I don't
love
think
to come with you.
it could be very, very dangerous.
We've already been held hostage by the Fist of Jarum. How much worse could it be?
It might be worse than the Fist of Jarum, I'm not
Might
sure.
be. It was a stone golem.
But
Or
I
it was a
won't.
golem of some kind.
A statue?
Yeah, they killed us.
Oh,
Well,
You know- sometimes the profession you need to take a few risks, you know?
Alright, if you're sure.
And then you hear as smoke starts billowing out from under a door
Cool.
in the
Cool.
hallway.
Great.
Cool.
And it flies open, and as Stain, the other archaeologist, comes stumbling out, like rubbing at her eyes, like coughing, like,
Oh.
okay,
That's my stuff.
okay. I think I
Probably
figured it
can't.
out.
You okay?
Oh,
It is
Yes, I-
highly magically reactive. Like, ridiculously. Nearly explosive.
I can see
Oh,
that part.
good.
Oh, I'm somewhere else.
I think it's
I thought you were here, weren't you?
No, yeah, you were in here.
I come back at the explosion.
Oh, you walked away.
It is.
I did.
Oh, it
could
nearly
be-
blinded me when I tried to see if it was magical.
Could it be used to cast spells? Through?
I'm not sure. I think this is like, I don't know. It's almost like pure magic.
Okay, I'll whisper to Lila. Alright, Professor, you kill this archaeologist. I'll see if I can bring them back
Fine.
using this dust.
No.
my God.
We have to find out! We need empirical evidence.
For
I'm not
science.
killing anybody.
Lila immediately summons a sword. Sucks the fucking. Okay.
Well, I think, this gives me an idea. If we had a little box that we put this in, right, and then we threw it and blew it up.
So it's mostly for explosive purposes.
I don't know. That's all I can figure out. This is pure condensed magic, like barely stable.
Would you like to marry me?
What?
Nothing.
Can you ceremony on yourself?
This looks
Yeah.
over at the rest of you.
Is it on the other wedding?
Guy is unhinged.
Just, he's okay, I
It's
promise.
unhinged.
Just-
yeah, it's unhinged, but you get used to it.
Just don't let him carry through with a lot of things and you'll be okay.
I mean, he doesn't have any intention of carrying through with it, so.
What if he asks me to marry me again?
He
Sounds like
probably
might
will.
say yes.
No.
So you're saying there's a chance?
No. My heart belongs to another.
Ah.
Classic.
Okay. Well,
So he puts
I'll
it in a
keep-
box and blow it up?
well, that is one use for it, I guess. I mean, this.
A box like one of these, and I pull out the 3 barrels I've been carrying around.
Eyes go wide. Keep that away from anything magical.
I walk around. I mean, I've been carrying them around for a few weeks now. We fought things with magic.
Eyes go wide.
We fought things with magic since then, and I've got
Okay.
hit by some shit. I don't know if Yeti's ice breath is technically magical, but
Not really. More like a
No?
natural thing.
goddamn.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll take more of a look. Do you have any more? I kind of blew up
This
the
is all
jar.
I have. There might still be more back in the crypt thing. The water.
You got this out of a crypt.
There were pirates there. It was a thing.
Pirates in the Veritor Valley.
Oh, you didn't see the 4 pirate ships pull a meteor out of the lake in the far north?
They did what?
Yeah, there's a whole lot going on. I pull out like all the pins I've collected.
Trophies. You
we'll fill 'em
are
in.
Monsters.
Is it the horns? They gave it away.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep looking at this stuff and walk away.
You may want to do it outside. Smoke.
Yeah,
Smoke you.
I need a fume hood or something.
You're gonna turn and go to the kitchen. What are you doing? Cooking. Cooking some crystal magic.
Crystal
maybe.
meth.
I mean, if
Alright.
you asked me what I expected what crystalline object pirates would be carrying around.
Crystal meth pirates. There is a lurch as the ship begins to gain altitude. Is there anything you wanted to do in the Veritor Valley before you depart?
Leave.
Where they have fuel to
All
burn.
right,
Let's leave.
you leave.
There's so much shit still here, but
I have an idea. Let's leave.
probably the best idea we've had in
only
9
way out.
episodes.
It's through the perfume department.
Okay. So we'll go through the
So-
perfume department for 40
You
days
head
or
through the
whatever.
perfume department and ascend up into the air. You see the spires of the Astralis Mountains stretching out before you as your ship begins to move. So,
We're going straight to Jakarr, and then we're gonna go down here to. There's a little port town or something.
yeah, there's a big port there that
Okay.
water ships go across the bay.
Gotcha.
So, it's going to take you about 2 weeks to get there.
We
Anything
fly.
in particular during your journey?
I will look out for outposts where we could potentially refuel.
Okay.
We'll call lightning and see if that helps anything.
Okay.
How many times can you do
Um,
that a day? Twice per day?
3.
Three
Three
times. Oh,
times.
that's right. 3
What's
times.
call
per day.
lightning is that just one? You
Yeah,
get, like,
Concentration.
multiple bolts
So,
out of it,
But
right?
it's concentration, so I can keep doing it.
For a
Every
minute.
6 seconds.
Right?
minute.
Yeah.
Yep.
Every
That's
yeah, so
true.
it gets 10 lightning bolts out of it.
So 3 minutes per
Oh.
day. Yeah.
I can do 30 lightning bolts.
Yeah.
and that's
Awesome.
low, your level spell slots.
That's fine.
Okay. So on the first day, do you try that? You just on the canisters. Well, what they would do is they would stretch their like collection things out, and you would strike them with lightning, and it actually does work. They collect a reasonable amount of power from them, about half of a canister. So one canister can go 2 days, or like how much? I gave you guys the metrics for it at one point.
I have.
Don't ask me that kind of question.
No clue.
We currently have 11 days of fuel as we are leaving Veritor Valley.
Okay, so each day of lightning will give you a half a day of travel. So every other day takes. So you basically double your fuel
What?
with lightning.
Every
And
other
how-
day we get one. Every other day we get another day of travel.
Yeah. So you
So
double
we're
your
traveling
range.
2 or how? Oh, we're
traveling 2 weeks.
Yeah, you're traveling 2 weeks, so your fuel, you would only need 7 days of fuel to get there.
Oh,
Oh,
Because a full round of lightning bolts is enough for a half a day of travel.
Okay, so at the end of there we'll have 4 left, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, yeah.
Hell
We'll
yeah,
do that
Professor
now, so we
Keel.
don't have to incrementally do it. Yeah.
Alright, so I have, and we also need food because at least according to what I have, we have 16 rations as we get on the Borealis.
On you personally, but the
Yes, I
ship
don't know how
has
much
been.
Borealis.
Yeah, so the ship has been accumulating food, and there's 6 people on the ship plus you, 14 people on the ship. They have, for 14 people, about a week's worth of food. So once you get out of the mountains, you're
Shoving
probably
people off the ship.
yeah.
More food.
We need more food.
Oh.
So
That's
maybe
low.
once you get out of the mountains, you'd have to find more food.
Why would we shove them off if we need more food?
'Cause then we have less-
Yo!
Oh, okay.
Yo!
Lasco's
yeah.
like, now you're talking my language.
There we go. Yeah,
We
that's
split
what
him
I've been
first.
saying.
On the crew is the weakest link.
Lasco.
Ow.
Wow.
Yeah. X out. I'm all about it.
Rude.
Sorry.
Just because I miss every roll I make doesn't mean I'm rude.
Just because I'm the worst shot ever.
Yeah, that means nothing.
All right.
So like
So
lower down to go hunt at certain points.
yeah, you have enough food to get you out of the mountains.
Mhm.
So if you wanted to drop down for a day in the Lesorix forest or something like that, that is doable. Or if you wanted to stop sooner, it's up to you. But,
Do I see any outposts along the way?
make a perception check.
I'll help.
All right, you have advantage. 18.
One better.
About 3 days in, so you are here. Here. You spot a little shack down on a ledge. It's got like a fence area stretching around it, and you can see there's like 3 cows in the fenced in area, and there's smoke coming from the smokestack. And this is like way up in like the mountains. Like you don't even know how they got up here. There's no airship nearby or anything.
I will inform the party and the crew about this outpost.
Stop killing Lasco to go look at the outpost.
We just
Okay.
both turn our heads. Oh, look, an outpost.
Yeah.
Oh. How about that?
So do you have the ship lower down?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay. We have enough. Need food or any? Oh, we do need food. That's the thing.
Yeah, food is what you have enough
3
fuel to
cows.
reach Jakarr, but food is
Enough
what's a
We
problem.
can hunt.
Start while we are, I will this canon. While we have been traveling, I'm looking to see if anyone, like, if two people are doing the same job, if there's one person that sucks at their job. I'm looking for expendable crew members on the boat.
Oh my lord.
Wow.
Okay. Well, it's a skeleton crew, so
Jesus.
you have Gart, you have Rolfo, you have Farese, and you have Jorakel. That are the 4 main crew members of this little ship. Faramel's technically a crew member as well.
So Faramel can easily replace one of them. Understood.
And then you have you all. You know that Captain Farese is like the navigator and the general leader of the ship. And Rolfo's the helmsman, so he steers the ship and like flies it. Gart is the engineer, so you don't really know what he does, but he keeps the ship running. He's the one
He
that
is
deploys
crucial.
the lightning things. And Jorakel is the ship mage, so she provides like
She's
basically the weapon if you were to be attacked, because it's too heavy for them to have like ballista or anything.
So I make note of the helmsman and Lasco and just keep that in mind for if we need to some dead weight off the ship.
Okay.
Woof.
On White, we cannot hear you.
Still
My mind
can't,
doesn't
but-
care.
Continue to
Shut
vibe.
Okay, so it has been 3 days. Roll me 3 D100s.
Roll 1.
Whoa!
Oh,
bad.
roll 1.
That's actually really bad. Ooh, a 10.
Yay!
Oh,
Yeah!
Nice.
Nice.
Ay.
All right, so the 10 actually, on the second day, there is a thunderstorm. The
Hey.
sails deploy, suck up the lightning juice, and you get a free day of travel for your fuel. So you will have 5 fuel units remaining when you reach Jakarr. And you set down near this homestead, throw down the ladder. Who's all going?
I'm going with Lila.
If Lila's going, I'm going.
I'll go.
I'll
Why
go.
not?
Yeah.
We're all
So the
going.
whole squad's going.
I think
Sure.
Sean White said he's not going, but I can't. He's talking, but
You
I don't,
are
am
so
I the only one that
muted
doesn't
right
hear
now.
Sean?
I can't hear
we,
you.
we do
Yeah,
not.
can't.
Okay.
He's muted on Discord.
Oh.
Adrian, the world's greatest detective.
I muted myself so I could go fuck around with my dog's shit.
What?
My dog's gonna be an asshole.
Let it slide.
What are you doing?
You heard what he said. Just let it
You
go.
heard him.
You did
They're
what?
being assholes, so I had to clean up after them.
Okay.
And now one of them is laying in my lap because he doesn't know
Sure.
he's an asshole.
Okay. So, are you
Usually
going
don't.
to the homestead, Sean White?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. You all descend from the Borealis onto a little piece of land sticking out from a giant rock spire. It's a pretty rundown shack. It's actually worse quality than the ski lodge. You can see stumps scattered about where they had chopped down the trees to make this stuff. You can see there's a trio of cows in this little pen, and there is a rickety wooden door covering the entrance. There's no windows to this cabin.
Is this another outhouse?
Austin.
You guys are scarred from the outhouse.
We
I'm
put a
gonna
lot of work
speak with
into that damn
animals.
thing.
Oh, nice.
It
I'll go
seems
up
so
to the door.
mysterious.
Here's a toilet.
Keel's
Going
got
to
some speak with
approach the
animals.
cows as I cast Speak with Animals.
Oh no. Wait, is that what level is that? Have you been call lightning?
Level.
First?
Level. Yeah, Speak with Animals is first level.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you speak with the cows.
Hey, is this an outhouse?
Nope.
Alright, thanks.
No problem.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
How long does this last? 10 minutes. I got 10 minutes. I'll wait a little bit.
All right.
I want to talk to them if they're going to be the food that we take. So
Yeah, I was
Oh.
gonna say.
I don't want to get attached yet until I find out what
Yeah.
food we're getting from here.
I'll knock on the door.
You hear like a clattering noise within, but then nothing.
Hello? My name is Ravane. Would anyone like to be my friend in there?
The door creaks open, and you feel a rush of air on the side of your head as something just goes whoom, right next to your head. And you see there is an axe buried in the wood floor of the porch that you're standing on. You hear, "How many times do I gotta tell you pirates you ain't getting none of my cows?
Oh no, we are going to
Oh.
take the cows.
We're not a pirate.
You're not a pirate? Then what are you doing flying around here knocking on people's doors at the wee hours of the afternoon?
We're from the university. We haven't come to steal your cows. We've come to
Bunch of
apprehend them.
yuppies coming out into the look. This ain't no bed and breakfast. Now get.
Oh,
We're doing
we don't need.
serious animal
no.
husbandry out here.
No, that's all right. We have
Oh.
beds. We only need breakfast. It's okay.
No, you're not getting any of my cows. Now get.
All right, hey,
Don't
you
make
got
me
any
put
other
this axe
food?
in your brain.
Hey, you got any other food besides cows that we
Here's
can
fuel
buy?
or food.
Fuel.
For trade.
I only got fuel for your stomach, and it's all mine.
He takes a
Actually,
swig of
I
his
got
White Claw.
something.
Yeah.
You got money?
Thanks, Shannon. We were on the same wavelength. That was awesome.
Pineapple White Claw in the mountains.
You got any trousers?
Yeah. Don't open the
My
door. Don't open the
pants.
door. Don't open the door.
Do you need
Yeah,
some
it's
pants?
completely dark inside. You can't see it inside. You just hear a voice.
You
Take
need.
off my pants and
Oh,
through the
Professor
No.
Keel! You're indecent.
you need some
You
pants.
already saw him moon some Yetis.
Keel is
Time-
not
now
concerned
it's a
about his
problem.
body.
No.
No. And I'm already almost married, so at this point,
Fair.
Fine, what-
That's
You're not
fair.
married to the entire crew of the Borealis.
Might as well
We,
be.
we've been
paying them
grandfathered
either,
in.
so
Yeah.
So you take your pants off and throw them into the shack.
No, I'm just holding them out. Like, hey, you need
Oh.
pants?
You see a hand, like a gnarled hand, just go
Oh.
and take your hands and take your pants in, and you hear a, and then a guy comes stalking out. He's like, it's this dwarf who's like 3 foot tall, beard like all the way down to just above his waist, and he has squeezed into your pants. The seams on the thighs are about ready to
No.
pop open.
Oh, no.
He's
Hell
like,
yeah.
you won't
Legs are
believe
like-
how hard it is to get cloth out here. You know, you trust a fart a little too much once, and that's all the cloth that you brought out here.
Do you not
Do you
have
want to come on
water?
the ship with us? You're pretty cool.
Oh no!
I ain't
Are you-
leaving my homestead.
You a
I've
skilled
carved
hireling?
this
Are you
place
skilled
out.
yet?
Well, so if you got any more trousers or any cloth, I do have something I could trade you.
What is it?
Well, you ever heard of
Do you got a cottage cheese in your head?
Is your name Nicholas Minaj?
Well,
Well, now that you mention it, I have this cousin down in Trinidad.
No, stop.
Oh no.
wasn't
The
there
size of
cousins were-
basketballs.
Which is really impressive because he's a dwarf.
How does he even carry those?
Drag it on the floor.
So he has a wagon.
Anyway, y'all heard of home brewing?
What?
Here, come on, come here. Take a look at my bathtub.
No.
We'll gladly take a look at it. Bathtub.
Are we buying
Okay.
moonshine from this
God.
fucking redneck?
God, it's like people.
All right.
We
Might
are
as
trading
well.
pants for alcohol.
Are we in
What
jail?
else are you gonna do?
Are we in this?
Did we
Which
get
lower
arrested?
plane are we on?
This orange is the new black. What's
Would
up?
this be hell or be good?
He leads you into his shack and lights up a greasy candle. You can tell that you don't know what the candle's made of, but it has left a mark on the side of the wall where the smoke has drifted up, like a black smear on the wall and on the ceiling. And he lights it up and says, "Yeah, come on, take on a look. You know, I found this bathtub abandoned in the mountains. Had a hole in it, but I patched it with my old pair of pants. And
So wait, is there shit in this moonshine?
nah,
Oh no!
I let it out for a few days. You know,
alcohol
the
kill it
rain and the
anyways.
UV and
I
the.
don't think you can
alcohol
kill
will kill
shit
it.
particles. You may kill the bacteria, but
Nah, you know when you leave like a grain to ferment and it gets real spicy, you know it's good for you, good for your insides, really cleans you out. So I don't think the pants are a big problem.
Oh gosh.
Anyway, come on over. And he has a little ladle hanging on the wall, and he picks it up and
Yeah.
scoops into this bathtub. You see, it's a big brass bathtub, and it is filled with some murky liquid. And he scoops it up with a ladle. Man, can feel it all the way through the lower intestine. And he holds it out. Anybody?
yeah,
I
Sean
didn't-
is stressing
I
out.
didn't
Oh,
think-
absolutely.
I'm just gonna try it.
There's my
I like
girl.
alcohol.
He hands you the ladle.
Sean squicked out
I
his
drink
helmet.
it. Can I
Farmer would
discern if
absolutely
it's-
be down to try.
It tastes like battery acid. Like, it is nasty.
Oh,
Hell
God.
yeah.
But it burns all the way down, and you already feel lightheaded. It's ridiculously strong.
Have we gotten a
Yeah.
long rest, by the way?
Oh yeah, it's been 3 days.
Are we like fully up on stuff?
Yeah. I assume after 3 days,
Okay.
you would be able to roll enough hit dice to.
And I'd have enough spells to heal everybody, so it's all good.
Yeah.
This type of liquor would do great at the potion cellar.
Oh god.
Oh, would it now? You got any pants?
I already
go
wearing
back to
my
the.
pants.
I can
Why
go
do you
back
need
to the
more
Borealis
pants?
and see if they have any like spare.
Spare
Oh,
Did you just ask a
Sure.
woman for pants?
Look, I don't discriminate. A pant is a pant.
Pants for alcohol is a common trait for
It's a
women.
pant.
Wow. Man. Yeah, wow,
No
Sean.
pants, two fists.
Sean, that's so true. That was topical. No pants, but 2 hands.
Wow. Okay.
Got him. Anyway, he says,
So,
"So you like it? I'll sell you a jug of it for 3 pairs of pants."
That's a lot of pants.
It's pretty cheap.
It's pretty good, isn't it, though?
I was gonna say a barrel.
My 1 pants already count towards that 3.
Oh, you're right. You drive a hard bargain.
Do you have any
Oh.
broken pants that aren't?
Why
like,
are we
dirty?
buying moonshine?
Well, I got some plugging up this here tub right here. If I pull them out, I lose all my moonshine.
Do you have anything else to plug the hole with?
do you want
Like
something else to
what?
plug it?
I don't know.
We have a mending cantrip, don't we?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do you have
I
any
can
broken
fix that for you.
pants?
Well,
I can fix
And your
any pants.
Yeah.
I do have well, see, the problem is the pants that broke I used for other things, you know? Like
Why?
this sick bandana. He walks over to his bed and pulls out this bandana.
How big is the bandana?
No, I mean it's like a normal size, like, yeah. Pretty cool, isn't it? And he ties it over his head.
What's
You
about
ever thought
if-
about leaving this place and coming on an airship across the world?
Why in the 9 hells would I do that? I got everything I need here. I got some
Because you're
moonshine right here, and I got
super
3 cows out in the back.
I
Literally
want
the
you to-
essentials for every man.
Right.
we can bring the moonshine and your cows,
the cows.
along with us.
Well, what are the
Yeah.
cows gonna eat up in the air? Where's all the grass up in the air? God
Well, it
darn
doesn't-
yuppies from the university.
I
They
just
don't have
stare
any
at it.
real world experience. What do you think
That
cows
is-
are gonna eat on a wooden ship?
I don't think that's a
Can grow
concern.
grass.
Oh, right.
Grass in my
On
hand
a
with druid
wooden
craft.
ship?
Ah, look, it's in my hand right now. Grass.
Druid craft some grass.
Poof. Grass.
Holy hell, what in the nine? What is that?
Just grass.
You got dirt under your skin, boy? How you...
Yeah.
That's
Go
offensive.
with that.
I could.
Heck of a trick.
Oh, I could even. What if I could help convince you to come with us? Here, I'll give him my pistol. Do you want?
What
Oh, no.
Do you want to
the
come with
heck
us?
is that? And he
You could
picks
defend
it up,
yourself.
No,
looks
no,
at it,
no.
looks down the barrel. And
No.
he's like,
I
"Oh,
wouldn't do
what the
that.
heck?"
It
And
is
he goes
loaded.
off
Yeah.
and blows a
We are
hole in his
rapidly
wall. You're
next
like,
thing you
by the nine hells, that was the coolest thing I'd ever seen.
We are rapidly progressing redneck culture. Next thing you know, he's gonna want to lift a truck.
Truck nuts the size of basketballs.
Oh,
Good lords!
Are we the invasive species here?
This thing is cool!
We are kudzu to rednecks.
We've messed up the ecosystem.
Holy fuck.
This I can handle. You know, all right. You guys like steak?
Oh. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Are you gonna come with us?
Depends on how it's cooked.
I can get you guys some steak.
Are you gonna come with us?
I'm not leaving. I carved this farm out of the
Gotta go outside. and
wild,
shoot his
savage
cow.
wilderness. You know how many darn mountain lions I had to kill with my bare hands out here? I'm not leaving. There's too many mountain lions dead.
Well, what's your name at least?
What?
What's your name?
They call me Leon.
Oh,
Leon?
Leon.
No.
The professional.
Well, that's what my ex-wife used to call me.
Fucker.
Yep, she's at the bottom of the ravine now, and he stares out the door.
Did you kill her
Kill her?
too?
why is
I was
she
gonna say,
at
did
the
we
bottom
just
of a ravine?
listen to this man admit to a murder?
We can't say anything.
Like we haven't
Yeah.
done that.
Yeah.
But, like, there's a difference
playing a
between
cop.
like
Fair.
pirates and goblins that are like.
His wife
And
is
there-
business.
You're
And
really trying to
PAP
make
were
us feel like we
ex-wife.
have a moral high ground. We're trying to eat our own crew.
Right.
We,
Leon, would you?
as
do you have
one
any?
of the crew,
Gee.
can be concerned.
Do you have any questions you'd
safe.
like to ask
You're
your dead
essential.
wife?
What? Why? Why in the nine hells would I ever want to hear her voice again?
Well, I would hear her voice.
Did you kill her?
Well, technically yes.
Right. No judgment here.
But all right, listen. Let me tell
That's
you.
not okay.
Shut up! Let me
Explain.
spin you a yarn. And
I
he
thought you
sits
didn't
down
have any
next to the
fabric.
tub. He sits down next to the tub and says, "Let me
It's
spin
nice.
you a
Good one.
tale."
Spin your yard.
He takes the ladle and guzzles some moonshine and says, "Long ago, I think it was 3 weeks ago. Here's sitting out here,
That's so
You know.
recent.
Fresh murder.
Like 3 weeks ago, we were just we were
I
just in the
was
middle of air.
expecting-
We're walking around.
I was sitting out here on my porch, thinking about my moonshine. I hear a scream coming out from the pasture. Darn raccoon just bit my wife.
What?
I beat that raccoon to death with my bare hands. Next thing you know, my wife, she's foaming at the mouth, trying to eat my nuts. I said, "Wife, I swear to the gods, I will do to you what I did to that raccoon over there." And all she did was screech and foam at the mouth even more, and by gods, I did it. I beat her to death with my bare
Fall out
hands
of your
and dumped her
chair,
body
please.
in the ravine, man.
Almost fell out of my chair.
Be
I
safe.
really did it, man.
Happening.
Wait.
Pat him on
That's
the
the first
shoulder.
time I
Purple's
really
pat's on-
processed those
pat him on the
emotions. I'm
shoulder.
sorry, I don't usually break down like this, but man,
Wait.
this moonshine's hitting
It's
different
okay.
tonight.
I have a question.
He's drunk as shit. He's just up here by
Was-
himself, drunk as shit on top of a mountain with some cows.
What?
Was eating nuts typically in your wife's repertoire?
Good
or was that
Lord, no,
new?
she's as bottom as they come.
Oh no.
Well,
Oh no.
That's how I
Oh,
knew was something was up. As soon as the teeth came out on my nuts, I was like, man, lordy lady, something's gotten into you, and it's sure not me. That darn raccoon done and knocked her up with some sort of foam disease.
Foam disease.
Knocked her up.
Oh, it's a figure of speech, of course, but man, that doesn't make it any less sad.
I'm gonna go outside real quick and breathe fresh air, and I'll cast Sending to Keel and say, Professor Keel, I can put him to sleep for a while if we want to kidnap him. He's really neat. And we could eat him also.
what? What was that last word?
Also. Then I'll go and walk back inside.
Listen, kid, you're speaking my language. Let's do it.
You're kidnapping a man. You want to kidnap a man.
I need like
So-
5 more swigs of moonshine.
Yeah. I think Gar will, throughout the conversation, just slowly sipping moonshine.
With a
Can't tell
teacup.
emotionally, can't tell.
You're both. It's very strong. You're like.
Me and Kaiser just passing a ladle
distorting.
back and forth between each other.
Yeah. And man, his story really does hit different.
Leon, are
Moonshine
you
of
sure
sadness.
you don't want to come with us?
Listen here, kid. If you call me Leon one more time, I'll swear I'll shoot your balls off with this
You
new
just
stick
said
right
your
here.
name is Leon!
I said Leon.
Leo? Oh my
Leon.
gosh.
You gotta say it like a bad French
Leon.
accent.
Leon.
Like intentionally
Oh,
bad.
That's a little. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Now you're just making fun of me, man. I just had to
Please
kill my
don't.
wife.
Please don't bite my balls off.
No, that
Anyway.
was my wife's prerogative.
Right, Britney Spears, calm down.
Anyway,
Oh baby.
about that, let me go get some of that steak. And he gets up and he walks out of his shack into
We
the
just hear-
backyard.
Just hear a gunshot. Yeah.
And he picks up a shovel.
Whoa! That's worse!
And he goes outside and he starts digging in the backyard.
Oh, what?
Are we getting like
He buried-
some Swedish like
Is this
rotten
his-
shark meat?
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
like
know if y'all have ever heard of this technique, but I picked it up from a friend down in the South Coast. Take your meat, you bury it, you let it
Yep.
ferment, and man, it's a little tough on the stomach, but it gets you through the day. I ran out of salt at least a decade ago.
Wait. Your wife survived up here? I turned into your accent for a while. Your wife survived
Your
up here for
wife?
10 years and then died to a raccoon bite?
Ain't that just the way, brother?
He's like 6 inches down in a hole and starts bawling.
He rests an arm on the side of the hole and he's like, ain't that just
Going-
the way?
Going to the cows.
We're just all just standing in a half circle watching him dig.
Yeah.
I'm going to the cow pen. And I'm hoping I still have speak with animals, so I'll just
Yeah.
ask the cows. Hey, are you okay? Do you need help?
Do you feel safe?
Do you
Oh,
feel safe
yeah.
here?
This place is great. You know, the grass got this nice, like, kind of slightly acidic, apparently from the pine needles that used to be here. You know, you can feel it in the back of your tongue when you take a nice slow bite.
I was just concerned for you, but
Why you
to
can
know that you're okay.
There was a bit of a scare about 3 months ago or so, and
I thought it was
Yeah.
3 weeks ago.
There,
the
was
cow's
there a
fighting.
raccoon?
what? Something
Did
like
this
that,
involve a
yeah.
Okay,
These
yeah.
these
Just,
cows
that,
talk like the talk.
that
like the
checks
guy.
out.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if you need anything, just scream.
We are not capable of making that sound with our throats.
Well, just moo really loudly.
I already do that.
Okay.
Anyway,
Does
I'll
this
go back
man
inside.
react to Keel kneeling down next to the cows and mooing at them?
He's digging. He doesn't see.
Oh, okay.
He's digging and crying,
Yeah.
digging a
He
little
gets up,
cry.
he throws a sack over his shoulder, covered in dirt, and he starts climbing up. And he's like, "What in the nine hells are you doing with my cows over there?"
I'm talking to them.
What? That is my job.
Have any questions for them?
No, I ask them all the questions I want. Are you trying to convince them to run away with you like you were to me? Listen, they can't be bought. They're
They're
loyal
very
to me
happy
till
here.
the day they die.
I wouldn't take them away from you. They're very happy.
All right, good. I'd probably have to beat you to death if you tried to steal my cows.
Please do. I'm ready to die.
Yeah.
What is this episode?
All right, well,
Anyway,
we're
I
gonna
got
be
this
taking you
sack
on
of
our
meat
ship now.
here. For this boomstick here, you gonna get some more pants? Like, you want some of my moonshine?
Me and guys already did like half the fucking.
The tub is drained.
You guys are blasted. Like, barely able to stand.
We got outside. We went to watch him dig and just both sat down and leaned on each other.
Yeah, you're just like back to back, like, world is spinning. Alright, well, here's the meat, and he hands you the bag covered in dirt.
Yo, I think
This was
that
my-
guy.
My wife's favorite cow. I just couldn't go on 3 years ago when I had to beat her to death with my bare hands. I butchered that cow one punch right to the jaw, knocked it out cold, and broke its
Oh
neck
my-
with my bare hands.
Oh,
Sorry,
are
was
you
that
sure
too
you
much
don't want to come
detail
with,
there?
with us?
Met
Guy
One
is
Punch
one-
Man, guys. This
You killed
Yeah,
the cow in one hit.
the main protagonist over here.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not gonna
Alright.
kill another one of my cows, so if you want fresh
what was
meat,
the cow's name?
which cow's name?
The what? The one in the bag.
Oh, this one. My wife called her Clarice.
I didn't know her.
What? What?
He's a minotaur.
Oh yeah. You know
Oh
what?
man, he puts a dirty hand, like a mud smeared hand on your shoulder. I'm sorry for your loss, brother. She was a fine one.
A fine heifer.
Let me tell you though, that rump roast was delicious.
Oh
You know how
man.
to grow them right in your family.
Oh no,
Whoa!
not my family, but
Oh, sorry.
Hope
Whoever's
not,
family
anyway.
she was. But...
Oh man.
So, how you guys like take the cow out back? You know, like how does that even happen?
Huh.
You got how's that even? How you even do that? Like,
Are you asking where minotaurs
what?
come from?
He's asking how you have sex with a cow.
I
What?
guess so. You
The
gotta
same
get,
way you
like,
have sex
step
with a
stool or
person.
something. It's pretty far up there.
You bite the nuts.
The what?
I think
Nothing?
Farmal at this point is just like so drunk he's just dazed and like not even understanding the common tongue.
Listen, sir.
Professor Keel knows all about cows and minotaurs. He can tell you. Professor, please enlighten him.
Just penetrate, you know? That's it.
After asking for consent.
I know that much.
Cow give
This is
consent.
important.
Wait, what are the ethics of that? If you can speak to animals,
Ooh.
I
mean,
guess
if
if I
it
we're
were
wanted
not having
to.
this
Who
conversation ever.
Yes, I could.
Anyway,
Please, God, no, why?
Don't give Ronan his
Wow.
ideas. Don't give Ronan ideas.
I do not want to.
Whoa.
Please.
Ronan is so ready to fuck a chicken.
Oh my god.
The first elephant we see, it's over. Better believe it.
anyway, he hands you a giant sack of meat. Who's taking
Nice.
it?
I will take it since Faramel is
What's your strength?
predisposed. Like 13.
What's your...
Make a strength check.
Alright.
If Vervain fucks it up, I'll
It
grab
just
it.
6. Oh!
Drops, like almost
help!
wrenching your arm out of the socket.
I'll
I can
I'll
do
see
it.
Vervain fuck it up and just like grab it.
Yeah, you're still swaying a bit, but you can hold it. There's a lot of meat in here, like 50 plus pounds.
Hell yeah.
She was a big one.
Dick.
Stop that.
Now,
In my
guys,
head, he's thinking of someone named like another Minotaur named Clarice that he may or may not have actually had sex with, but he's just he's just conflating the two.
it's hard to tell when
when you're this fucked up on moonshine.
Anyway, y'all. I think it's time you should leave. I got some emotions to deal with.
I think me and Kaiser want to get some of that moonshine to go.
Y'all sure you don't want some moonshine? It's only the low price of 3 pairs of pants. Well, I guess 2 now that now one of those pairs is for the meat.
That was a gun.
Right, I gave
Guys,
you a
I'm
boomstick.
all out of pants. I don't have any.
Yeah,
more
the
pants.
boomstick was for the was also for the meat, you know? I gave you all my meat.
What if I give you all
About
this
a second
ammunition
one, and
for
I'll pull
it?
out a pistol too.
His eyes just go. I just had the best idea ever.
Oh lord.
2 guns, 1 in each hand.
Uh-huh.
All right, deal. You get the whole tub. I can always make more.
I'll give him all the rounds that I have too.
Yeah. Like, this is the start of a wonderful relationship.
Are you sure you
Y'all
don't want to
come
come
back
with
here if
us now?
No, I got my cows to take care of.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
I'll help haul the bathtub.
Yep. You haul it up, and you see there's like cloth dangling down from a hole in the middle of it. You realize that the hole in it is just the drain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I mean, you do need to plug it though, so.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, you guys have the bathtub. Get to the rope ladder and you look up and you're like, well.
Thermal takes out one of the jars of dust and dumps it out and starts pouring pouring it into the keg. into the keg. Yes.
Incredible.
You just jump it on the ground.
Thermal,
It like
thermal.
splashes against the ground like sparks
Whoa,
scatter
what?
across
What?
the.
What? He's like holding it
Pour
sideways.
that on the ground.
It's like continually falling out.
He'll like start to pour it and then just a little bit comes out and then he'll hold it back. Oh, what? Why not?
That is.
You already did it. Go for it.
Yeah.
Support.
You might as well mix it with the moonshine at this point.
Stop.
Ooh.
Hey, empty the barrel. Might as well fill it back up with moonshine, you know?
Right.
I didn't empty it yet. That's what I was expecting Lila to stop me.
Oh. Now go for
Like
it.
I started to stop. Started to
Go for it. We don't need it. We need alcohol.
I don't know. I don't think. See, even drunk, knowing Keel's decision process, I'm just staring at Lila.
It would
Like
not
halfway
just
ready to
leave
pour it.
that somewhere.
Blow it off the mountain or something. We'll kick it off.
Dust?
We'll fly away in the wind.
Like that.
We're gonna see like an anime. We're gonna like be
No,
flying and see
stop.
an anime explosion on a mountainside.
We should have taken the cows.
What are you doing with the cask?
I mean, Lila seems to not like it, and I don't try. Like, I know even drunk, I know Keel's not a good influence.
I will send
like-
to the crew and ask them to lower an empty barrel.
Yeah, that's the
All right,
that's
they
the correct
drop
choice.
a barrel on a rope.
Okay, we will laboriously fill this barrel with moonshine.
All right, you get about a half a barrel of moonshine.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, put that on the quartermaster sheet.
Alright, we will haul both the bathtub and the barrel up
You're
onto
still
the
taking the battle.
a pants for a
bathtub now.
pants. Yeah.
He's sitting there with the 2 guns in his hand, and he goes, "Draw," and shoots them both at the island, at the mountain right there. He's like, "By the divines, this is the best day of my life."
Gonna be dead.
And
in
then he
12
starts
hours.
crying.
Yeah,
like,
seriously.
"Man, is it really though?"
Aw.
He like write his wife's name on one of the guns.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
accidentally
then he just
invented
becomes Sea
Lucian.
of Stars. Yeah.
Yeah, no. This is Redneck Sea of Stars.
Oh no.
Alright, we'll get back on the ship, the Borealis.
He waves and says,
What a fucking
"Y'all be
dork.
safe out there. Watch out for them whales."
Huh?
Watch out for the whales.
Wait, what do you mean
and the
that?
ship
That was
starts to
oddly
pull
specific.
away.
What? I'm gonna cast sending to him. What did you mean?
Watch.
Look out for the whales. Real whales or different whales? Mountain whales? Woman whales? What do you mean? Sir?
Woman.
You just hear.
Oh.
You gotta watch out for them whales out there. They capsized the ship. Don't let them get too close.
We'll keep flying.
All right, you keep
I
flying.
launched into an ecological lesson about whales.
Amazing.
Zoology.
Oh, nice.
I somehow managed to get up the rope ladder and then just fall asleep, like literally right next to it on the banister, like leaning against the banister.
Like leaning off the side of the ship.
Or just seeing
Strike
like
through the
picture on the
mast.
ground, like leaning, like the horns over the side of the ship practically.
I fall asleep on ground.
Can I nail a gold coin
Wait,
to
did
the
Kaisa
mast?
not make it up the rope ladder?
Nail
Which ground?
Kaisa's like slumped over the rail, like halfway off the ship. You nail a coin to the mast.
Yes. I'll tie a line to Kaisa's foot in case it gets windy and she like flies off.
I'm just holding the other foot.
Kites,
Yo!
Kite.
Genius.
This episode's unhinged. Anyway.
What do you mean?
As of now, the
I
homeward
do not hunt
compass-
for new pants, by the way. I am
Oh, you're freeballing?
You're
Sure,
free
rocking
roll.
it.
rest of the campaign. I'm just throwing it out there. I will not look for pants ever. This is how I
Alright.
Not
roll.
even for the wedding.
I'm just hanging
Oh.
brain, dude.
Especially not for the wedding, babe.
Especially not for the wedding. Yeah.
Hanging
Come on.
brain.
Oh, speaking of which, professors, do you want to get married still, or is that still nebulous in the future?
So adjust to my new form first.
All right.
They sway in the breeze.
Helicopter dick. Just.
Professor, are you cold? Oh wait, no, I can say that you are.
Yeah, I'm a grower, not a shower. Don't look.
Anyway,
Take
we
us
fly.
Lila, what do you think?
Stop this.
I think you should put on pants.
Nope. I will never.
She just
buy
goes to bed.
Locks the
Ah,
door.
I see what you mean.
Stop it.
No.
We
Message received.
No.
you see the homeward compass is now pointing due east.
Okay. So.
Oh yeah.
It is pointing due east towards perhaps Doral Roke.
Oh god, we have so many
Rock.
we have so many random places to go.
Yeah.
All
Got a
right,
laundry list.
we fly.
You fly. So, roll a d100 for me.
I'll
And
do
go.
it.
Before he-
Oh shit.
All right. The day passes.
Hey.
You are on the edge of the mountains. You can kind of see open sky. You haven't seen that in a long time. Before fog starts to roll in, like kind of like waves crashing. It just crashes into the ship. This thick fog that you can barely see somebody on the other side of the deck.
This a natural occurrence in the mountains that I would know about.
Not that you would know about. Lasco,
This is
Yeah,
last
would
go.
I?
you still never seen.
Does it
Fog
appear
rolling.
natural origin?
Yeah.
Other than how fast it rolled in, it doesn't seem magical.
I'll get my shield out.
Do I feel any magical presences with my?
This is the
background
are me and
thing?
Kaisa still drunk the next day?
Yeah, you are. You wake up still drunk.
That's good moonshine. And then he goes and throws up over the side of the boat.
Yeah. While you're on the side of the boat there, Fairmill, you hear
Oh no!
Fucking whale.
whale.
What did
It's
you
a
be?
whale.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I'm so
fuck.
excited. I'll be able to turn into a whale now.
A flying whale. It's the
Oh,
windfish.
shit.
Don't
Are
wake him
they-
up.
Are they beasts?
Let's hope this is a beast.
Well,
If we're
I'll look
gonna
off
turn
the
into a flying
edge.
whale, we won't need an airship.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
He can't fly to level 9 though.
Oh.
but I can make the beast my friend. It's a
Hmm?
beast.
Oh, that's true. All right, I will look over the edge. Do I see a whalular form?
You can't see anything. It is thick
We're in the middle of
fog.
a storm.
Yeah, you hear this thick fog, this low, like.
For the record, I am assuming that I'll do my lightning at the end of the day before bed.
Okay.
Because I would go through the whole day making sure that I don't need those spell slots before I would burn them at the end of the day.
Okay.
Do we hear which direction the whale is like at, or is it just all around us?
The sound seems to be coming from above you.
Okay.
Can I use the drift globe to cast daylight straight up?
Sure.
Really should be. Hold
But
on.
doesn't it cast daylight centered on itself?
Oh shit, you're
I
right.
don't know how that.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
it
would
is.
like illuminate a large area.
Yeah, I
And it
mean,
goes,
huge. Like,
"Ah," and it burns the fog away. In like for most of the deck, I guess you can now all see each other on the deck, and you hear that sound again as a shadow passes over the ship. Like it casts a huge shadow, and you can
This is-
feel like a breeze like push your ship and kind of like push it over, and you see Rolfo has to like turn the wheel and like keep it from smashing into the side of the mountain. The captain comes onto the deck and is like, "What is going on up here? Do I hear a whale?"
I was gonna say, is flying whales like something I would know about as someone who's been on airships before?
Ooh, or me.
Is this like a thing we normally have to worry about, or is this like is this weird?
This is. You have heard of this. You have heard like stories about it at the edge of the world. About
Okay,
like
but
people seeing
the
things
fucking
in the
mountains,
fog and
no.
stuff. But in the mountains,
Did I
no.
hear about that too since I was there?
Yeah,
Since I was-
anybody at the edge of the world would know that people see things like off the edge, like flying through the air, but they're usually like tall tales and stuff.
So yeah, Farmal drunk as fuck would probably be just like, you're not supposed to be here.
And this thing is flying over, and you can see whatever the shadow is getting lower and lower and lower. Before
gets-
you hear like this crunch and like this shake as the whole ship shakes as the shape crashes into the top and then bounces up, and the whole ship just drops elevation and then struggles to retain it.
I'll tie a lifeline and hook it onto my belt.
Yeah, everybody's like hooking up to the rails.
Mhm.
Rolfo's like struggling with the wheel and everything. And
Farmal would probably try to help him
yeah,
if he's just to hold it steady if that's what he wants.
because there's like something like dragging
Oh.
the ship to the side.
As the adrenaline kicks in, he'd probably sober up just a hair and be like, "Or should we land to
How-
get away from this for right now?"
This is abnormal. Rolfo says at the wheel. You've never known him to say more than 3 words at a time.
Well, that was 3 words, so
Professor Keel, can you do anything?
checks out.
I can for 10 feet around me.
Ow.
Do we just wait out the fog?
Can make it go away if I run back and forth around the ship. But that's the best I can do right now.
If I get you up there, could you do something?
I could for 10 feet around me, yes.
Okay, well, I can't get you up there.
Okay, well, great.
You're welcome.
Amazing.
Those
Put some
useless
dancing
comments.
lights around the deck. Make Starlight.
What are you doing?
Put some dancing lights around the deck where like the daylight isn't reaching.
Okay, yeah.
Or like
You-
like just off the ship.
Okay, yeah. Above, you can see the shape is like lowering again, and you do see the underside of what looks to be a creature larger than your airship. This gray skin, kind of
Ew.
rough on the bottom, and two large fins like extending
I love it.
off
I'm gonna
to
do
the
some-
side that slowly go up and down.
Can I do something that I shouldn't do? And I'm gonna use my Twilight Sanctuary and
Okay.
then my Steps of the Night to begin flying into
Okay.
dim light.
Okay.
Professor Keel,
You're leaving the drift
Come-
globe on the deck.
come with me. Yeah, I'll leave the drift globe. Professor Keel, will you change into something small and come with me?
How small? I really don't want to waste a wild shape.
Do it.
A wolf or smaller than that?
No, something small. Fetch it in
We're
my
gonna
hand.
fight this thing.
A frog.
Turn into a mouse.
He's big.
All right.
No.
I take the mouse and fly up to the creature.
Okay. You have to dodge the fins that are just.
I'll try to get up onto its back, near its head.
Okay.
If it is shaped like a whale, towards its
Now,
head.
yeah, now that you are near this thing, it does actually look very similar to a whale. Although you'd see, now that you're close to it, it has two sets of fins, a larger one towards the front and two smaller ones towards the back. Its skin is rough, more like a rocky texture. It's gray. It kind of blends in with the rocky mountainside around you, and you do manage to get on its back. It's like a rough exterior, almost like a shell or like armored plates.
Oh, good. All right, Professor, can you talk to it?
Squeak, squeak, squeak. I am no longer a mouse. So I didn't prepare that spell today. I could do something else though.
You asked them.
Dude,
Let's
can't
take
you-
a
you
nap
speak
right
animals as a
now.
Ritual, can't you?
I could take 10 minutes, but I don't know.
We have that.
Yeah.
I will. I mean, I'll use this spell anyway. I will try to use animal friendship. I will tap the beast. I will
Okay.
try to convince it that it means no harm. That I mean it no harm. But if it's not a
Okay.
beast, then it won't work. So I'll try it.
All right.
Do you have
Is
to
there a
make
save that has
charisma
to make?
checks?
Yes. I'll ping the spell. It's a wisdom save.
Or wisdom save?
Okay.
Oh, bummer. Oh, it's
Oh.
very wise. I like this beast.
Ooh, can I use
Okay.
Bane on it?
What?
Oh no, I didn't have it prepared. Never mind.
All right.
That's Bane as a
Uh-oh.
ritual.
If the beast's intelligence is 4, the spell fails. It doesn't even make the save.
Oh.
It has a 22
A smart
wisdom and
beast.
less
It's
than
wise
4
as-
intelligence.
Oh, I love it.
If the beast's intelligence is 4 or higher, it's fail, so it's very smart. Probably.
Yeah. No, but its wisdom was +6, which
Yeah.
if it's using regular stats and no like
Oh
proficiencies
yeah,
or whatever it is.
I
Um,
see what
I'll-
you're saying.
I will start taking 10 minutes to try to ritual cast
I'm
Speak with
amazed.
Animals.
Okay. Make an acrobatics check.
Oh,
Balance
no.
on its back.
Oh, okay.
No.
If I'm like helping him,
Yeah, you can
Stay
have
down.
advantage on it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, okay.
take that advantage. Oh,
Okay.
Woohoo!
You are able to complete your Speak with Animals ritual,
Nice.
and you hear
Mr.
the noise that's coming out is like it's a song, or it's like humming,
Aw.
like a.
are very talented.
Ah, now you speak my language.
Ah, sorry, it took 10 minutes.
That is okay. You are faster at it than most.
Oh, thanks. I blush.
You hear like a scream come from the deck below as Jorakel has come to the deck and is like, "Oh my god! He's crushing the top of the ship! Will somebody do something?"
Yeah, can you please stop crushing
shit.
the ship?
Oh, is that what this is? And you hear
That's
from
our
below.
ship.
Oh, I apologize for the oversight. And
Okay.
flies higher.
What
It is
are you?
hard for me to be precise at times.
Okay, many questions now. First, what are you? Second, what are you being precise about? Are you trying to crush our ship?
I
Okay.
ride the fog.
Oh. We skipped over number 1. What are you?
I am a denizen of the fog.
Oh,
What
ask him if he has
trying
any
to
skills.
to seek me out?
Friend wants to know if you have any skills.
I have limited foresight.
Oh, well, that's impressive.
I don't want to brag.
I mean, you should. That's very impressive.
What about? Oh, ask him specifically skill or tool proficiencies. Brewer's tools, maybe.
And I'm not going to ask him if he knows any tools.
Okay.
Why have you sought me out?
Because you were crushing our boat down there, and we didn't want to, die.
I do not appear recklessly.
Or are you here for a purpose, then?
What brings you to seek me out?
Oh, okay. Hold on 1 second. Hey, Ravane.
Yeah.
Alright, you want to know anything from the whale?
Oh, ask him what his name is.
Not like that. But I will ask him that, but
Oh, okay.
and like see the future and stuff, I think.
Ask him if our travels are gonna be safe. Going to the place we're going to, the city, which is named
Nicki Minaj?
Jakarr. Yeah, no, Jakarr.
Maybe we should think longer term, like
You know,
Oh.
yeah, I'm not there.
Or we could ask if he wants to come with us.
okay, Ravane, message Lila and ask Lila if she has any questions
Alright.
for the whale.
Hey, Professor Lila, guess what? We're on the whale. It's been 10 minutes. Do you have any questions for this fine fellow named... You know yet?
No, yeah.
No.
No, yeah.
One word to know.
I was just, I didn't even have a fully thought out question. Hold on.
You're the smartest one there, so I'm gonna
That's
ask
sad.
you.
That's sad.
Oh,
Does Lila have the
Professor-
highest intelligence?
No.
I don't know, but we have
I think
2 drunk
Paramount
people.
does, right?
Incorrect.
He's drunk.
Just last
He's
guy.
drunk.
What?
I have an
That's 'cause
8
that's 12.
intelligence. Get out.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think Glasgow is the smartest person in the party.
Is he really?
I have a
Wait, what's your
12.
intelligence?
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
and Ravane are on the
Okay.
same page.
Yep,
Amazing.
11, so-
That's also
stuff.
scary.
Oh, I also have a 12.
Lila's not very smart, honestly.
What
Our
if,
whole crew
Professor...
is not smart.
What if you ask, if we're gonna, how far in the future he can see?
Yeah, better.
Mr. Whale, first question. Oh, get like a limit of things that I can ask.
It's question 1.
We are running
Okay.
out of time.
Okay. First, what's your name? Second, how far into the future can you see?
I see what matters.
All right, he always skips the first question.
Doesn't
for
want to
my
give any
name.
personal information.
You were close. To know yet is my brother.
Oh,
I am Othelolathor.
Whoa.
oh.
The Thor. That sounds like 3 names that you got.
Your
off-
parents really
Othello?
used all the good naming on you and then gave your sibling the don't know yet. Okay.
He
Second.
was an accident.
Oh, relatable.
Relatable.
Maybe you should ask him if any harm is going to befall us before we get to Jakarr, and then we can ask
Care
further
about
down.
Jakarr.
But
Across the ocean.
Across the ocean.
Um,
Professor Lila wants to know if anything's gonna happen across the ocean.
So we're trying to get across the ocean to go find some rune thing. Are we gonna see any danger along the way?
That was
Every
Lila pulled out her
journey has
sword.
its share of dangers.
Useless.
He's too wise and very
The
stupid.
ocean is a dangerous place. However, between here and your destination, all is clear.
Okay.
Oh, ask him where we can find a kraken.
Are there any krakens around?
I only know of one.
Oh.
Where is it?
Southeast.
Oh.
Aurelian. Oh,
Of Calrelian?
We're here.
Oh shit!
I'm ready.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Give it to
Second.
me, give it to me, give it to me.
Know where any elephants are? The village was led by a patron elephant. I would like to pay homage.
I know not
Fucking elephant.
that of what you speak.
We're not so wise then, after all.
Wow.
Okay. Bane, any other questions for the whale?
Does he have a wife?
Sorry, from
Or a
Othello
husband?
Lathor. Bane, we don't need to know that. This is like important
but-
stuff.
But I want to know that.
Says we're running out of time. Ask Lila again if she has, or ask Glasgow, I guess.
Oh,
Two are
why?
drunk. I don't know if they can.
All right.
Because I want to.
Wait,
Let's
what's
go.
the question?
Let's go. I'm on the whale named Othello Lathor. Any questions for the smart whale? Brother's name is dunno yet. How are you doing? Pooped lately, sir?
What? Why did you become Jester right at the end?
How many words is it total?
25.
25. I'm fine. I am regular. Thank you for asking.
Nobody asks.
No.
Oh god.
I don't have any questions for the whale. Have you asked anyone else yet? Love you.
Aww. A little more at the end.
Oh no!
I wanted to use them all.
Wholesome.
All right. Lasco
God,
is
sending is
useless, but
truly the
at
worst
least
spell.
he's very regular. I'll use my last third level slot to message Kaisa. Hey,
That's
Kaisa.
I'm still drunk.
Never. Yeah, ask Faramel.
Perfect.
How's it going? Pooped lately? Also, any questions for this big ass whale up here? Lasco is regular, so that's very nice.
I hate this.
Bye.
That was the Kaisa?
Was that to me or to Fair?
To Kaisa.
Kaisa can still be
Oh.
asleep. She didn't send anything.
Right?
This will be in her
Kaisa's still
dreams.
sleeping it all.
Imagine being regular.
Oh, I have a
John
question
knows.
for the whale while Kaisa is talking. I'm gonna talk to the whale. Hey, so what do you think about this staff that I have? And I'll just like tap him with the staff.
Stand by. Do Kaisa's question first.
Oh.
That's concerning.
Hey.
Okay.
The whale knows.
I don't see how that is any of your business. Happy for Lasco, though. Guy needs a victory.
Ouch.
Isn't that true?
His only win is he's fucking regular.
At
That's
least I
fucked.
poop often.
That's
That's
actually
But
His diet is very fibrous.
fine. Better than me.
wow, little TMI there.
Oh, what? Oh, now it's...
Ask the whale if we will find more alcohol or money.
All right. Hey, Professor
Wow.
Keel, Kaisa has a
Yeah.
question, wondering if we're gonna find any more alcohol or money. Also, she was not very forthcoming about her, regularity.
Lasco, you can't ask women about their poop. They don't like to talk about that.
My name is not Lasco.
Wow, am I wrong?
I'll push him off!
Ravane, you don't ask women about their poop.
Okay. Sorry. I just
I'm
came out
talking
of
to
the
whale
shadow.
about my staff. Give me
Oh,
one second.
right. Right. Austin?
Yes.
Staff?
Yes. Okay. Okay. So yeah, you ask him. What exactly are you asking about his staff?
Just ask
About
if he
your
knows
staff.
anything about it for now and to see what he responds, and then I'll go from there.
Okay. You see?
Add. Oh,
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna add that it did some crazy stuff when like the moon was out or whatever. Creepy. You know anything about that?
I forgot about that.
Sure. So as you are asking him this question, you see that it is starting to get brighter around you, and the fog is starting to thin out. And the whale thing says, "Your staff, Atropus, the world-born dead, lurks over us all. Your staff protects you.
Whoa.
Stay hidden from its gaze."
What?
And the fog is starting to thin out. You're able to see further across the whale. Says, "My time comes to an end. I would suggest disembarking."
Oh, okay. That left a lot more questions though. Will we find you again? Our journey?
Perhaps, if the need is dire. And you see he starts to turn transparent.
Ravane.
Twilight Sanctuary,
Stay on.
wings of whatever, and I don't know. Are you gonna wild shape again?
Oh.
I'll just slowly sink down to the ship.
Yeah, you slowly sink. And you see as you're sinking back to the ship, he's turning transparent and almost like a ghost, like an outline of this whale, as you all break out of the mountains, leaving the fog behind. You can see as the fog is starting to dissipate and lift, that with it the whale dissolves as well. As you find yourselves on the edge of the Astralis Mountains, flying over the Losaurus forest, the entire rest of the continent of Allura stretching before you. And you slowly sink down onto the deck. You see the upper part of the roof has been crushed slightly. In the middle of the ship, it's caved in a little bit. And you see the Jakarr is just running around, like hands up to her head, like, oh my god, we're all going to die. I should have known.
Have no fear, I say as I descend from the sky. Majestically.
Fear me not.
Whale meant us no harm. I've spoken to the creature. My powers of flight and mystery.
And then he falls because Ravane
Yeah, and then-
his hands are all slippery. Ravane's been sweating.
Oh.
Well, it was a good whale. That's all we need to know. I didn't mean to harm the ship. He was just riding the waves of the fog. Very majestic.
Bit vague, but alright.
Yeah. Anything else?
Is the ship like just like a flying pirate ship, or is it like almost like blimp? Like
It's more like a galleon without masts, and instead it has like wings off to the side.
okay.
And
so
then
I
an
think I've
engine
been
in the
like
back.
I think I've been picturing this wrong the entire time.
You can see it on the Borealis map. Oh wait, that is not available to you
Yeah.
right now. But it's here. I'll put it on the Surreal Default map. I have like an
Okay.
icon of it. that I
Thank
can
you.
use. It's kind of like. Why did that not work? Okay. Okay, there we go.
Ernst.
Boom. It's kind of like this,
Uh-huh.
but a lot
Oh,
bigger because yours is a pretty big ship.
And no like mass or anything.
Yeah, there's no mast,
Okay,
but it
okay.
has these like wings and stuff.
Gotcha.
And then there's an engine in the back
Okay.
that emits some sort of thing.
Picture it kind of like the ones from Treasure Planet.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Minus
Oh
the
yeah,
mask.
yeah.
Without any masts though.
Yeah. I was literally just picturing like a sailing ship just in the air.
No.
That's
it
like
looks
what
similar.
I thought it was.
It looks
Essentially,
similar.
except
Yeah.
without the mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, without the masts, yeah.
Okay.
And then there's like a big cabin on the back.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, so
By the
the
way.
roof of the cabin has caved in.
Okay.
And some of the metal like wings are kind of bent from scraping up against the side of the mountain.
Whale said that our journey across the ocean will be safe.
I
Good.
think Pheromone fell
Destination.
asleep holding the wheel steady.
Yeah.
He's like probably getting in the way now that they need to actually like maneuver.
Yeah, you're this surge of adrenaline really killed your buzz.
Did you just ask about the journey, or?
Yes. Did not ask about alcohol. Sorry, Kaiso.
Or money.
Or money.
Say,
Assuming we will
All
find
right,
both of those
We've
things.
got
I
enough
tried.
alcohol for the moment.
guys is like looking for the barrel. It's a road trip. You can't be drunk the entire time.
Well, that was eventful. How many days till we get to Jakarr?
Let me check.
Was that because I rolled a 69?
3 days? Or no, 4?
How? Okay.
That's 69 on the table. Fucking space whale.
So you've been traveling for 4 days now, right?
God,
I thought this was the third. This was the same day as Leon, right?
I thought it was the next day. No, it's the next day because Kaiser
Okay.
and Fairmel were still drunk.
Mhm.
So this
Oh,
is day
that's
4.
right. So this is day 4, yeah. So 3 more days?
it's 2 weeks, right?
Oh, 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I
you
am
got
an idiot.
You got a little over a week left.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So, by the way, the 50 pounds of meat is enough rations for your crew for about probably a month if you ration it well and mix it with your other stuff. So he gave you
Cool.
everything that he had.
Aw.
Wow.
Good dude.
Before I
It's
eat it
really
every
tough.
time, I'll cast protection from poison on myself.
It doesn't taste good, but it's not rotten. Kind
Yeah.
of.
It's cured.
Yeah, it's cured.
It's cured.
Oh,
Yeah,
we're skipping a bit. That night I would like to do something
sure.
before we get to nighttime.
Yeah, sure. There's nothing else that happens on this day. You are flying for the first time in over a month. You can see open sky. Like the entire this part of Elora is pretty flat except for like some hills and stuff. There's like one other mountain peak right here, but for the most part it's wide open. You can see the horizon.
We'll approach Lila when she is alone sometime with like a towel or something over my junk so that she doesn't get intimidated. Guess I'll look for pants at some point, just because this will be awkward. We get to a town or something, but that's besides the point. Hey Lila, question for you. You read books and stuff, yeah?
Sometimes, yeah.
Right. You know what Atrophis is? Does that ring a bell?
Atrophis?
Yeah.
Do I know anything?
About
Like, I don't know what any studies of hers would go into that, but
make a history check with disadvantage, and it'll be very hard. Maybe.
oh boy,
There is
that's
a
not great
possibility.
for me. How do I set disadvantage on this again?
You can just roll it and then
Roll
do
and
it
then, yeah.
retroactively.
Amazing. Even worse.
Man. Yeah, you have not.
Yeah,
You've not heard any mention of Atropus.
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 I added an H.
Oh boy.
And an H as well.
I haven't. No. Is that something you heard from the whale, or?
And the whale talked to me. Because I asked him just off the cuff, really. I was just like, hey, you know anything about my staff? Because you remember, like, I don't even know how long ago it was. I missed a lot of sessions. I don't know what time it is in the campaign. But, like, when the moon was all crazy and stuff and my staff was glowing and, like, really bright. You remember that?
I forgot about that.
I think so. Yeah.
The one, like, the crazy moon was out or whatever.
Yes. Yeah, I do.
I talked to the whale and I was like, hey, you know anything about this? And he told me, Atropis, the world-born dead, lurks over us all. He said, my staff protects me, though. It stays hidden from my gaze, or its gaze, or whatever the gaze is.
That's
Notes
good.
were not clear on that. I'll go back and listen later.
Stay
That's
hidden
good.
on from its gaze.
From its gaze, that makes a lot more sense.
I
My
guess
staff
if
hiding from my gaze, I can see it, but yeah.
it isn't watching you, that might be good.
Oh, I forgot things were watching me too. Oh, that's creepy. I don't like it.
Did I think it was Ravane that noticed, but there was something watching Lila too, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
I don't remember if he told her about that, but
Ever feel like a mom is like shaking you?
no, you said a lot about that, and I haven't. No,
Okay, I'm just checking, cause
I do need to tell you that my sword is talking to me though. So
Oh.
that's a different issue, but
okay, what's going on?
well,
with it.
it just kind of spoke to me the other night and
Say,
just told me just recount everything. I wrote it all down, but something about it being powerful and divine and
it is.
being locked away and finding other swords like it.
You want to find other swords like it?
Oh, I really don't, but I don't know how to stop it from trying to find the other ones. I don't think it's really giving me a choice at this point.
Is the sword controlling you?
No.
Are you
but-
okay?
Well, not when it's not in my hand.
Okay.
That's I told you a bit ago to stop me if I tried to do anything really bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust myself when I have it out.
Okay. The sword here itself, or do you still control it
No,
when you
I
want it
still-
to come out?
I still do that, but
Okay, that's good.
I don't know if any other curses latch itself onto it. If something else will happen, I really don't know, but it scares me what I do when I have it.
It does seem scary, but I still trust you. I know that even you're cursed or whatever, you'll always be doing the right thing.
Okay.
I have faith in you.
I have faith in you and whatever your staff is protecting you from. I'm sure it's good.
That's. I like things watching me. I like to be the one watching
Well,
things.
if-
And that's not creepy. That's just because I'm really wise, you know. I like.
If
I
you
see
have
voyeur.
things.
If you have it though, it's not watching you, I guess. Judging from
Something
what
was
happened?
watching me. I
It
felt
was?
I felt someone touch me, and I felt like someone was watching me before.
Did it feel bad?
No, the touch felt like a mother, and I love my
Wait.
mom, so I'm assuming that. Oh, I don't remember if I like my mom.
Do you think that could have been the staff at all?
My staff a mom?
I wouldn't say that.
Oh.
Carrying around a mom this whole time?
If it's something that's keeping you protected from something.
Maybe. Oh, staff would be my mom watching me?
You keep
The
saying
mom,
the
not
mom.
my
I
mom.
keep not
Because-
saying the mom.
No, I'm just equating it to what it was, how it felt when I felt the touch. Because it felt like a mother shaking you awake,
Well, that's not.
like a nice thing.
Well, I wouldn't.
Oh, like
Inherently, that's not a bad thing.
because something was gonna fall on my head and it was gonna hurt, but then the mother shook me awake and was like, "Hey, look out!"
So it was
Moved out of the way.
protecting you. Well,
Don't remember if the things watching me felt good though.
was it two separate things? I honestly can't remember.
Happened separate times, yes.
Okay.
So did I tell you that a star blinked at me once? I have that in my notes too.
That kind of staring was definitely not good.
Yeah, the staring did not
good.
feel good. The
I
staring
don't
was not a good
believe
thing.
you've told me about that yet.
Yeah, probably not. I don't remember when this happened, and then I think I missed the next session. So I did not tell you about the staring. The staring did not feel good.
Okay.
Spooky.
Was that because your staff opened a lot during was it the full moon or something like that?
The creepy moon. The moon of like magic and stuff was out.
When did the watching happen?
Shannon, you're asking the great questions that I need to find out. I wrote it down. Okay, no. Oh, okay. I have no idea when this was in terms of the moon cycle. Gosh. Okay. I'll give you some context clues here, Lila, and you tell me what the moon was like at that time. We're gonna work through this together. Okay. So I felt like something was watching me. I felt very vulnerable while I was sleeping. I put that in caps in my notes because I felt very vulnerable. Felt like someone was watching me. This was when we were you remember when I talked to the pigs in the town?
Yes.
After I talked to the pigs.
Okay.
Like that same day. When we were traveling with the lady whose dad I stole the letter from, was talking about the curse or whatever. That's how we found out about you being cursed or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was that day. I don't remember what the moon was like.
Okay.
Happened on session 6 on August 24th. Know where the moon was then. Look at the calendar. I'll pull out a calendar.
Yep, you pull out the calendar. There's a calendar button. You can look at it.
I'm trying to find out if
Session
there's...
6 start was the 16th of Thunder.
Cute.
Oh, hey, yeah.
It was a couple days before. It's not when I thought it would be.
Do these little moon buttons look? What do they signify? There's the blue one, and then the
Yeah,
red
hover
one.
over it and it'll tell you.
Oh, genius.
But the 17th was a special one. That's when both Kai and Ray were new moons.
Oh, okay. There were 2 days of new moons.
18th was when
They were both new moons on the same day, on the
Gotcha.
17th.
There says on the 18th.
So the sky was like completely black,
Oh, I lied.
except for the stars. I mean, you could see like black discs in the sky of like
Yeah.
the moons.
Yeah.
So is the 18th still dark like that, or?
No, because
Okay.
that one was only, or did it last 2 days? I think it might have lasted 2 days actually.
Okay.
So yeah. This is what happens when you have unique astronomical events that don't follow the calendar patterns.
Okay, well,
Also, after met the monkeys that had the vests,
mhm.
first time we saw the pirates, one of the stars was brighter than the others, and it blinked at me.
Oh.
Staff. I also have my staff freaked out when Kai and Ray were in the new moon phase. My staff was freaking out.
Okay. Then I guess the moon has something to do with it. Not sure exactly how it would impact whatever's watching you, but maybe at different phases it's weaker or stronger.
Which one's the black moon? Ortis?
Ortis, the moon of magic and secrets.
Yeah.
Hot.
I'll circle back to this for now.
Okay. Well, if you feel it again, just wake me up and.
And if you hear any sword talking to you, let me know.
I
We'll
will.
figure it out.
I don't think she's taken it out since. Did the talking happen before or after that Yeti fight?
I think it was before.
It was before, yeah.
Yeah.
It was the sesh
I don't
before.
think she's taken it back out since that fight. So I don't think she's needed to, so
Mm-hmm.
next time she takes it out will probably be with Kiel in the room. 'Cause
Oh
it's
no,
scary.
didn't she take it out in the Yeti fight?
She
Yeah.
did.
And
She
it
doesn't want
carved
to
us
do it
in both
again.
into-
Oh, I thought you
She-
said since
She
then.
didn't like
Sorry.
that.
Sorry.
Sure, in the future, when we're fighting stuff, don't go too far.
I won't.
We can.
I really don't want to.
Okay.
Just
Keep watching, but I trust you.
I trust you too.
Aww.
I'm gonna go find some pants.
All right, yeah, please.
Amazing.
Not that I mind, but I kind of mind a little bit when everybody else is here.
Oh.
Oh.
Did I hear somebody say-
jealous?
And I run away.
Vane busts through the ceiling.
Florentine!
He's already casting the spell.
Secretly.
All right, let's take 5.
Okay.
Okay.
So spell ceremony. Oh god.
All right, we'll see y'all in 5.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh, thank you everybody for watching. Forgot to say hi. Welcome. Hi. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. And race to go.
Oh, yeah, but we can
Hi,
talk
everyone.
about Colombia's making coffee
Wait,
and
spell his fucking last name.
We love Columbia.
Hi everyone, we're back.
tap on White Claw.
Hello.
We stand Columbia in this house. And this company.
Yeah. Starlight Company appreciation list. Number 1, Columbia. Number 2, Megan Fox. Tasteful.
Hey!
Thankfully.
Number 3, cottage cheese.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Not so faithful.
Flash, Nicki Minaj's cousin.
Rest in
Tied for
peace,
number
his balls.
Bruh, Nicholas Minaj took me out.
That was the end.
I should have named him Nicholas Minaj.
That would have been
No, you
great.
should. I'm glad you didn't.
Not late.
All right, let's get back into it.
Did we
So
get
you have
his name?
emerged. What?
Did we get the dude's name?
Leon.
Yeah, Leon.
Leon. yeah, we
Leon.
did.
You gotta
Sorry.
say it like a.
I
like
just
someone's
saw the
making fun of
whale's name and I was like,
Parisian
that wasn't his name.
That was what? Othello
Yeah.
LaRose?
Othello
Othello Lathor.
Othello Lathor.
Othello.
Othello Lathor.
Othello
Lathor.
Lathor. Yeah.
Othello
Well, he was
Lathor.
traveling in a storm, so.
I've never read it, so I wouldn't mention the difference. Oh, Thor.
I thought Sean was making an Othello reference.
I was
like,
too.
man,
I
it's
was
been
like,
a long
I
time.
don't know.
No, I mean, the only thing I know about Othello is it's a black dude falling in love with a white girl in the 1400s.
Classic.
Classic.
Jill, give us the
Classic
plot
story.
of Othello.
Yeah.
Please.
He
Shakespeare
like hops in the
nerd.
call, gives us all a fucking bard lesson.
All
Is Jill
right.
not playing a bard anyway?
Because Jill's not
Anyway.
playing at all.
Later.
I mean, never mind.
I was surprised when she said she was gonna play either a fighter or a ranger.
That's because Jill's a Giga Chad.
Jill is
That's
the
like a-
Aries
what's her face
male
Jill
of
lady?
Afraid of
females.
magic.
Jill's Aries. Wait, is Aries well, no, that's not true because Aries
No, that's
females
different.
are tasteful according
Exactly.
to this horoscope.
She is the
Clearly not
Aries
Jill.
male of
Jill
females.
is not tasteful in any sense of the word.
Whoa! Rowan.
Yeah, all the nice things you want about Jill, but
Listen,
she's not tasteful.
So true, bestie.
know my wife.
Anyway,
All right. Anyway,
Went from slandering
Are we back
Liam
on the
O'Brien
air?
to slandering Jill, and I'm not sure who I find more threatening.
What the fuck?
Oh, Jill, 100%. But we're married. I'm allowed to insult her.
Liam,
we're back on the air, right?
yes, Jill is commenting in Twitch chat.
All right. Sounds good. Oh, thanks for the summary of Othello, Jill.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
you guys have emerged from the Astralis Mountains. It has been about 4 days. Yeah, around 4 or 5 days. And, flying across the lower half of Allura, I'm just gonna skip over. Because we took a lot more time in the beginning than I thought we would.
Yeah.
So unless somebody wants to do anything, I'm just gonna have you roll 8d100s.
Let's all roll one.
One, do
at
one.
least. Yeah.
There's
Do I get one then?
Austin,
oh,
go. Oh,
That
that's
one.
awesome. Fun.
All right, well, you save another day of fuel. You'll have 6
Oh,
when you
cool.
arrive, because there's a massive thunderstorm.
I'm gonna roll one in Jill's. I'm rolling one in
What?
Jill's.
Shot!
It's for Jill. Jill got a 94.
Farmel's
Thanks,
still
Jill.
drunk, is still following Lila.
4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I'm the last one. Darn.
way to go, Austin.
My bad. So you save one more day of fuel as there's a massive thunderstorm halfway across Allura. You see below you that some of the trees even ignite and like go up in flames. But yeah, you travel for another 8 days.
And we get there's
8 days later.
Ba-na-na-na-na.
All right, it is now the 10th of harvest. 2203L. Autumn. And you are flying over the Undaran forest. When you see in the distance, there is a large open plain next to this river that snakes up the land. All along the river, you can see going over a mile upriver are buildings. Lights flickering, smoke coming from smokestacks, just basically crowding around the riverbank all the way up. You can see ships going up and down the river, and next to, looking at it to the right of the city of Jakarr, you can see a huge open plain with tons of airships just sitting on the ground, like a giant parking lot.
That's
And
good.
you can see somebody way down, like waving at you. And there's like a gap between two and like waving you down, basically.
I'll wave back.
Am I getting
You
some
wave back
Amber
as-
Alert?
Amber Alert.
Hold on.
You know what you
Okay,
gotta do during an
interesting.
Amber Alert.
Gotta go
Gotta
outside.
chase after that car.
I
Shannon
was wondering.
sprints outside. I know this.
My phone was just like violently vibrating. I was like, what the fuck?
Man,
Sorry, continue.
Amber needs to chill. So
Please.
Oh,
Chill,
there's
no,
actually a kid
please.
missing. God damn.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all those kidnapped children out there.
Wow.
My bad. Big
Terrible.
sorry. Big sorry. So Rolfo starts to land the ship down into this gap, and you see there is a human man sitting there with a clipboard that says, "Oh, welcome to Jakarr. You can park right here, and we'll take care of your ship for you. You know, if you have any thunderstorms around, you can charge your ship here. But otherwise, we're gonna have to charge you for any lightning. By the way, there's a 10 gold parking fee here, and yes, this is the only place you can park in Jakarr. How will you be paying? We only take gold."
Can I punch him?
No. No,
I
you
said, wait,
can't.
no.
Kaisa's hungover on date.
A week later.
Why don't we
How
just
much is the parking?
dock our ship like 100 feet away from the ship, the
That's illegal.
dockyard? Oh.
You
We're
should
gonna
take
get-
it up
we're
with
gonna
the
get
crew. They're the ones that are in
electrified.
charge of all the money. We're kind of just passengers
Yeah.
here. We're not in charge of the finances.
The captain Parsi just
I'll hand
shoots you
10
a
gold to
glare.
him just to fucking park the ship.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I'm
didn't,
gonna
I didn't even
help.
hear how much it was. Everyone was just not talking, so I'm like, do we not have money to pay
Tears
him?
off a piece of paper, licks the back of it, and slaps it on the side of your ship.
How much
Says,
was it?
10 gold.
I'll pay 5.
Oh, okay.
Says, all right, everybody, you're parked. Enjoy your stay in Jakarr. It's about a 3-hour walk that way. See ya.
Great.
Ravane, can you fly?
Should have let me punch him.
For a minute?
Oh.
I think now you
Sure.
can punch him. It's just before we didn't want to, like, while he was doing his job, you know.
He's still on the clock.
Well, yeah, but he's not
Oh.
doing it to us anymore.
He took care of our interaction. I'm fully on this
No,
page.
we're paid. We're
Kaisa,
only
go punch
breaking
him.
one law now.
How'd he do it? I support. Back you up.
Just some casual assault.
And go
Probably,
punch
he's
him.
got like he probably gets it all the time. He's a cleric. He heals himself.
wait.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, baby.
Nerd. You
Yeah,
gonna go
cleric
punch
of the
him?
city god.
No, I won't punch him this time.
All right, you see he starts waving in another airship from the west as it comes to land. What do? The crew is like, we're gonna come in the city with you guys for a bit just so we can restock on some supplies, but we got some repairs to make to the ship and gotta figure out a way to refill all this fuel. Keep us updated on your plans. Please don't leave us stranded here.
Will do. Definitely will let you know what's going on. 100%. No
Okay.
worries, man.
I have your number, don't worry.
This guy.
Okay. Well, we only have 6 days of fuel left. So
I'm just gonna put an arm around Ravane and run ahead and say, we are not going to call them. We're going to abandon them. Don't ever talk to them again.
I don't think that's justified, Professor. Oh, alright, alright.
Don't talk about this conversation, okay? Hush.
Okay. I trust you.
Right.
Poor Ravane.
Yeah.
horror, man.
Like Ravane literally goes from, "Hey, you want to be my friend?" to, "Hey, should we just casually kill this guy on the drop of a hat?" So there's no poor Ravane. He just whatever's going on is going on.
So true. So true, best. Let's make this less offensive of a red color. Yeah.
Oh. I was like, "What are we about to see?"
Less offensive, right?
It really was offensive. You should have seen it.
Talking about
Okay.
Liam O'Brien, because apparently that's sacrilege. We can't do that.
Alright.
No, we're in the D&D category. Someone's gonna come in here talking shit about Lean O'Brien. We're gonna be destroyed.
It's
So you guys, you just walk in the 3 hours to Jakarr.
I guess.
You see there is
Turn into
guy-
a horse for some of it for 1 hour.
Okay.
There's a guy with a cart sitting next to the yard, and he says, "Hey, you heading to Jakarr?" Okay. I can take you guys in my cart for 10 gold.
What?
No, we're okay.
It's just a walk.
All right.
Galloping.
As all of us walk, you're just like 20
just-
feet in
just
front of
Yeah,
galloping
I'm just
circles
running- yeah.
around us.
Donuts, yo. Yeah.
Yeah, so eventually you approach Jakarr. There are no outer walls of the city, and as you approach, you can hear music trickling out of the city, like various notes coming from different kinds of instruments. And when you enter, you can see that the buildings are very close together. They're also very tall, multi-story. Everything is crowded next to the river. The city is long rather than wide, going all the way up the river. Almost like it would almost take you a full day to go from the shore of the ocean to the furthest point in of the city. The buildings only go out from the river about 4 blocks. So you enter the city and you can just hear music all over the place. There's like a musician on every other street corner, like lutes, harps, or singing, and you even see a guy with like a pair of drums between his legs just jamming. And the walls are painted bright colors. There's a bunch of murals on a bunch of the walls, and the river is just completely clogged with ships. On the right side, they're going upriver. You can see they're being pulled by like donkeys and horses up the river. And then there's another ship going down. There's cranes that like raise and lower cargo off of the ships. There's people sitting on balconies overlooking the river, like shouting across the street at each other to people on other balconies. And the people here, it is very diverse. There's a lot of people that you would never see in Lorelda. There's like dragonborn and elves and halflings and gnomes, and you see a lot of tabaxi as well. This place seems to be a trade nexus for the ocean, and there's a ton of people from Zalkir here as well. And there's so much like noise and smells from a bunch of restaurants hitting you and all these colorful murals and everything. It's almost complete sensory overload. And it doesn't help that this city doesn't seem to have been planned at all. The streets just twist and wind, and some of them loop back on each other for no reason. And it doesn't take long before you're completely lost.
Amazing.
What do you do?
Winnie.
You're still a horse.
I don't know.
It's been 3 hours.
Didn't do it right away. Do it for
Oh.
like, or level 6. I can do it for like 3 hours or 2 hours.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I forgot.
Time increased.
Moon druids.
Can we still see like where the river is in this town?
Yeah. You could eventually find your way to the river, yeah.
If we follow that down to the ocean, can we just like,
Which direction were you going? Inland or towards the ocean?
where are
I
we
think
going?
we're going
I thought
towards
we
the
were-
ocean.
What are we doing
Towards
here?
the ocean, probably.
We're trying to get down to the port.
Right, we're
of
trying
town.
to
Yeah.
charter
right,
a
right,
ship, right?
But not
Yeah.
here. So we don't really even
Yeah.
need to be in this town. We need to get out of here and go.
Unless we just want to get supplies and stuff, but
There is a harbor here as well.
oh,
You can see as you arrive, when you find your way back to the river and follow it down, you can see that there's also these bridges that go across the river that are like up. And then when no boats are going by, they lower so that pedestrians can cross to the other side of the river, but by default they are pointing up. You follow the river down towards the bay. You can see there are hundreds, literally hundreds of ships in the harbor docked way out in the ocean with rowboats coming in. Some of them come up closer if they're smaller, hauling cargo on and off. You can also see a very large number of smaller boats gathered around the docks, and there's a huge crowd of people gathered on the docks. off to one side, off of the look at the map here. The eastern side of the city, all along the bank, there are tons of tents and like rickety shacks put up all along the eastern shore of the river. And you can see more of those smaller boats are docked along the shore of the ocean there. What are you looking for?
Way to get across the ocean.
So you looking to charter a boat?
Yeah, we're looking to charter a ship.
Were we
Okay.
trying to get down to Zalkir first or over to Gate in Calrelian?
We're going
down.
to Nicki Minaj, right?
Yeah, down
Right,
here.
yeah.
In the Fair
Okay.
Interior Jungle.
Heard.
Yeah, we're gonna go to
I guess we
Zalkir
can
and
get
then
one
go to the
here.
Fair Interior Jungle.
We're not
I
going
mean,
this way anymore because we're gonna go over here, right?
Yeah, there's also a big harbor over here as well.
okay.
Not just want to
up to
get
you.
one here. Guess we can find out how much it'll cost. 'Cause we don't
Yeah.
have that much money.
Bargain hunt.
Go to a smaller town, it might be better, but if it's not awful here.
We can find a boat going
also
across
have to
there.
pay
And just
the,
like ask if we can.
The
Yeah.
ship.
We really
Yeah.
don't have to. People
Not if
keep
we don't
saying
go
we have to
back,
pay
yeah.
them. We were not supposed to pay them. We never agreed to pay them. It's their problem.
Yeah, but I've, traveled with them for a while, so.
I mean, I'll
Thermal,
help
you
you.
have part of the crew.
I'll
You
help
have
you
to
pay
pay them.
them. I'll help you do it.
I'm just saying. That's not our
Like, I
problem.
think I'm following y'all now, but
I mean, I'll help you if you want to, but
Yeah, we'll try to find a ship.
we're gonna need to find some fucking money.
correct.
We can find a ship that's already going there, and we could like
Yeah.
Yes.
put on and
All right.
Or we
Sure.
become pirates.
steal a boat
Oh
Could steal a
no.
boat, yeah.
without it.
We just dead man's chest this ship. Oh wait, no, that's the
Anybody's
second
tail.
one. No, wait, what's the first one? Curse of the Black Pearl.
Yeah, of course. What? At that point, you just say Pirates of the Caribbean.
I think they steal a ship in every movie.
I mean, that's
I mean,
true. They
they're
are
pirates.
pirates.
They are pirates. Sure. Are you gonna, while you're here, are you gonna look for Algeta's quarry?
Oh,
Should
Do
right.
we care?
That was a thing.
What was that for again?
That was the note that you found on one of the pirates.
You spell quarry the same way when you have a quarry, like a
Oh, like a hunter's quarry?
like someone you're supposed to hunt.
Hang on,
Because
I think
Algeta's quarry
I
could
might
be
have used
someone-
the wrong quarry.
Amazing.
Oh no, that's right. That's right. Yeah, they're both spelled the same way.
Okay, good. Because now we have no idea. Algeta's quarry could be.
I don't really care, but if anyone else
saw
wants to
that
go
note.
that route, then I'm
Where did
fine
we find the
with
note? That was in the
We'll
That was with the
go.
ring.
Maybe that could be a way to get more money. Let's go there. We'll
Let's find
try
a
to
boat
figure
first.
out.
Let's go to
Ooh,
find a boat
good
first, see
idea.
how much it'll cost, and because I mean, like, really,
Good
purpose do
idea.
We have to go to this random quarry.
Sure. Yeah. So, how do you go about this? What do you do?
To the harbor, I guess, and we'll
Go to the harbor. Yeah.
see how much it costs for a boat.
Sure, yeah. You arrive there and you see there are tons of these tiny boats with people crowded around the docks. They have like bags on their back, like big boxes of stuff, like chests that they're carrying. They are all like lined up on the dock, coming off of these big boats, and they all look like panicked and confused, and they're like looking around like they don't know what to do. There's at least 100 people coming into the harbor at this time off of these smaller boats. Docked way out in the ocean are the deeper hull boats meant for going into the open ocean. People are taking smaller boats up to them and back to carry cargo and people across. There's dock workers hanging out on the, not hanging out, but they're working. And there's other people like walking around with sheets of paper and scrolls and examining crates and everything like that. There's even a few cranes out here that are kind of like hamster wheel operated. Like there's a guy in there spinning the wheel and another one moving it around.
I will approach someone with a scroll.
Okay. Yeah. You see there is a dwarf man with a scroll, and he's wearing some sort of like an overcoat kind of thing, like a suit coat, and he's sitting there with the scroll reading it, looking at this big box of like fruit. There's like oranges in there, and he's like reading the scroll, and he keeps looking at it, looking at the scroll.
Oh, good day, sir.
Oh, hello. Say, do these look like apples to you?
Do they look like apples?
They're oranges.
Those, my good sir, those are not apples, no.
Yeah, that's
They're,
what I'm
in fact,
thinking
oranges.
as well. Something tells me I got ripped off.
Did you purchase apples?
Yeah.
Like oranges.
Are you sure this crate belongs to you and you might not have misplaced it with another crate?
Look, I've been in this business for 20 years. You think that I would know what kind of crate is mine? It has my seal right there on it.
I'm new to this town. I do not know how things work. I was simply asking a question. My apologies.
All right.
Did not mean to offend.
Yeah, no problem. I'm just wondering, where the heck are my apples then? And whose oranges are these?
Great question.
Aren't oranges more valuable than apples?
So,
Who knows?
question of my own for you. Companions and I are looking to sail across the sea to, oh crap,
Jakarr.
to Jakarr. That's the name. We would like to go to Jakarr. Is there a way we can charter a vessel or perhaps work upon one?
Well,
Passage.
I'm just sitting here taking this delivery of oranges, I guess. I don't really, I mean, I own boats that go back and forth, but
Have any boats that are going
sailed
across
them
that we
myself.
could purchase passage on or work for?
Well, how experienced are you at sea?
I am one with the natural elements of the world, so could be
What in the nine hells is that supposed to mean?
I'm good at water things. I can
I've got
control
2 strong
water.
arms, or 4 strong arms, and 4
My companions back there have various other skills. You can see. Look at them. Aren't they
He like
magnificent?
looked over.
thermal.
I'm
Tyson
failing to
flags.
juggle oranges at the moment.
Like, well,
Gotta turn this
okay.
into a thirst trap.
I
Can I sell thirst trapping?
I got just posing. I mean, they're. Wait, who the heck is that lizard folk over there?
What are your opinions on lizard folk?
That's the sexiest lizard folk I've ever seen.
He's with us.
Oh God.
Is he?
Yeah. He is single, so if you are single, so if you're interested, I can put in a good word.
Oh God.
My student, actually, I teach him. Oh,
Oh
Uh,
I see.
is that
takes what I have to say very seriously.
Well, his eyes are like glued. He's like, okay, well, anyway,
Both fetishes, yikes.
a ship, yeah, a ship. Well, the company I work for, we do deliveries across the ocean. We just got a big ship back, so I guess I could find something to send back to Jakarr. I have a friend there that take something, I guess. I don't know. When do you want to leave? It really depends.
As soon as possible.
Oh, soon as okay. And I can get it up and ready in a few days. I don't know what I would send them. Guess I could send them all these stupid oranges. I'm sure they would get
that's a
out
good.
of those.
Yeah.
And there's like
Come from the-
there's like several dozen crates stacked up.
Wouldn't oranges come from the tropical continent?
Ask. What happened?
Sorry.
It's like I think I got a friend that'd buy them. I don't know. He owes me.
Where would you be taking them to? Would you be taking them to Fort Cal?
It's really the only place that things really go around there.
I'm not familiar.
Not much around the coast that you really. I mean, they usually go to Fort Cal to trade stuff anyway. The ports are bigger there, so.
Right. Oh.
Yeah. Usually my company charges passengers about from here to Fort Cal, probably like 100 gold for y'all.
What about if we become temporary employees and we ensure safe passage of the goods to the city?
Safe
Still
pass.
must be-
Sea isn't known for pirates.
We are. Well, what about other dangers in the sea?
Like what?
I've heard from a reliable source that the sea can be dangerous at times.
Like a kraken off the south coast of Carillion.
We haven't run into any trouble between here and Fort Cal. It's usually pretty smooth sailing. I mean, I'm sure that your sailing skills would be more useful than your
Well, yeah, that too.
murder
I mean, I don't.
skills.
Yeah. Well, we're not to murder per se. Let's not get the wrong image. Just protection. I do have some companions that are very well seasoned in travel, so an assist.
I guess if you need help, I could drop it to like 75. Look, it's really not my place. I'm just a clerk, you know?
Then who should I be talking to about this?
The owner lives down around the dock, I guess. You could try to talk to him. I'm just telling you, our standard rate is usually 100 gold per person.
If I wanted to secure passage, I'd have to get the okay from him.
I mean, if you want it for any cheaper than that, I can arrange it for
Oh.
a standard price. I just, I could get in big trouble if I
Understood.
adjust it. I mean,
100
keeps
gold
like
for
looking
for
past
all of
you over
us
your
or for
shoulder.
each of us?
For all of you, I think.
Okay.
It's usually by
Oh.
distance. And bring
What's
your
your
own
name,
food, I
sir,
guess.
By the way. Yeah, we
What?
have food. Your name.
Joram.
One more time.
Joram?
Okay.
Is something wrong?
It's
Oh.
You looked at me funny when I told you my name. It's-
Because I'm having an existential crisis in real life.
That's how his face looks.
Right. Well, you have been very helpful, Joram. How do you spell that, by the way?
Jorrum?
Hell yeah.
it's like it's just vowels off.
All right. My existential crisis has faded. I have centered myself in the moment, did some
That would've
mindfulness
been fun.
techniques.
You did some centering techniques.
Yes.
Grounding techniques.
I will- What is the name of your employer?
Sir Baron Bellathor.
Oh shit.
Please, don't forget the sir.
Will not. I will go speak to Sir Baron Bellathor. Been rather helpful. I will put in a good word and say that you were quite helpful and very
Can you-
informative. And
Can you
yeah,
tell him that the apples aren't my fault?
we'll make sure he is aware that the apples were not your fault.
You know what? Actually, just don't. Well,
Mention the apples. Just let it.
yeah, I
just
might be able to
slide-
get rid of them before they find out.
I'm not a narc, so don't have to worry.
All right. By the way, what is his name?
The lizard
Yeah.
is Lasco. Would you like me to introduce the two of you?
Oh no, that is quite all right. That I have to take care of these oranges.
Do you like me to put in a good word? I could be your
No,
wing.
it's okay. I'll talk to you all later. Goodbye.
All right.
He's
We'll
gotta
re-
take care of oranges.
He's got some oranges.
This is Nicki Minaj's cousin. Sorry.
This is grapefruiting all over again.
God.
damn
Oh
it.
no!
I will rejoin the group.
Okay.
Why did he keep looking?
Hey,
over?
so passage on a boat, potentially 75 gold for all of us. Would have to assist with sailing and such, but
So do we go for each or for all of us together?
all as a group, 75 total.
I can muster 20.
Can pitch in a little bit. Put in 5.
Wow.
How generous
much
of
do we
you,
need?
Professor.
Oh lord.
I mean, 10 is pushing it, but that's the max I can.
How much do we need total?
75.
75.
I can pitch
Maybe.
in.
Potentially 100 if Sir Baron Bellathor does not agree.
Pitch in 10.
I can pitch in 10.
All right, so we got
Wow,
25,
everyone
10,
pitches in
10, 10.
We're gonna get into. We're gonna be 40 short.
Oh, 25, 35.
Divide, divide,
45,
20.
55.
I can pitch in
You
10.
both put in 10, then that's 75.
Oh,
We got 25 from Ravane, and then 10 from 1,
20
2,
from
3,
me,
4,
20.
5. Oh, so we need 5 more.
I can do 5.
Do 15. If Ravane does 20 and we all do 10, then that's 70. We need 75.
I can do 15 instead of 10.
Okay. We have 75, if he agrees to it. I guess we should go talk to Sir Baron Bellathor to see if he agrees to our terms.
Sure.
We'll lead the way to where it was instructed that Sir Baron Bellathor resides.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
On the
He
door, I
pointed you
guess,
towards
whatever.
a building, like a two-story building, kind of small for a Jakarr building, but it has a sign hanging out of the top, hanging out in front of it. That you can't really read what it says because it's sideways, but that's the
Well,
building
knock.
that he pointed you towards. So as you're walking up towards it, Ravane, you see among the people crowded around on the dock near where the large group of people with a bunch of stuff are. You see
Uh-huh.
somebody sitting cross-legged, like in the crowd. Everybody's just like moving past him, not really paying him any mind. And you see it's what looks like a shifter with vaguely avian features sitting in front of a blanket. It's been spread open, a bunch of stuff sprawled out on it, like looking around, turns his head, looks straight at you, and somebody passes in front of you, and when they continue on, there is nobody there.
Okay. Can I cast sending to the person I just saw?
What does sending say? Somebody that you can see? or
Someone I'm
somebody that-
familiar with.
Sure.
Hi, I was wondering where you just went to. My name is Ravane. Do you know Azran Delavar? Also, who are you? Also, pooped lately?
Okay.
It's like a requirement of the sending spell.
Apparently.
Asking if they've pooped. Yes.
Yeah.
I took a
25
break
minus
while
how
we were
many
on
ever
break,
words
by
it
the
takes
way.
you to ask them if they've taken a shit.
Feeling really regular.
You hear back. We have already met, you fool. Do not speak his name.
Wait, was it the dude from before? Wait, was it the shifter from town,
Barnaby?
the city? Sure, him. It was
Looks
the
like him.
same. It was the same dude
Oh.
who told me that I was a reaver.
Yeah, it looked like him.
Oh, well, never mind then. I mean, not never mind.
Do you want a
but-
different message?
No, it's fine. I'll just go with it.
Alright.
He said,
Do not speak his name.
do not speak his name. Right, okay.
It is dangerous to speak of such matters.
Right.
It is best to ignore him.
Okay, thank you.
We never found out if he cooked it.
Oh yeah, what the fuck?
Bummer.
He's a
He
bird.
ran out of
They-
words.
Damn.
Sure. And then you arrive at the front of. You can now see the sign, and it just says Baron Trading Company.
Baron
no.
Trading Company? Ah.
Somebody opens the door. It's a older human man with a handlebar mustache and a very well-tailored suit, and says, "Welcome to the Baron Trading Company. How can I help you? My name is Butler. I am a butler. Thank you for asking. I get that a lot."
Day Butler. I'm looking for Sir Baron Bellathor at the instruction of one of his employees. We were
Do you have
told
an
we could.
appointment?
No, we do not.
I feel like
Okay, I'm gonna need you to. And he reaches under his podium and pulls out a book like this thick, and just plops on it. I'm gonna need you to make a reservation here to speak with the Sir Baron Bellathor. He's very busy.
We
I
are
have an
offering-
appointment about 2 months from now at 3. How does that work for you?
We were told we could come here. We are offering employees to
Your what?
offering work to get across the sea. We were told to come here to inquire about being hired, or
Oh, if you're looking to be hired, you can submit your application here and give us 3 to 5 business days to review it and check your Jakarr Navy certification. So we only deal with licensed seamen here.
okay.
I acknowledge the humor in my statement.
Sorry, I really didn't mean to laugh. It was just instinct. I'm really sorry.
It's okay.
didn't
I
even-
get
didn't
this a
even
lot
realize
from
that-
inexperienced seamen.
Okay. Consult with my companions, and I'll be right back.
Yes, of course. It is my job to sit here and wait for you.
Be right back.
And he sits there and he stares at the door.
I will return to everyone. Hey, this dude's a narc. Super lame.
Yep.
Dude wants us to wait like 2 months for an appointment or to put in an application with, and we have to be like Navy approved. Okay, if we can round together 25 more gold, we can just go to the dwarf and do it directly. He said he could hook me up. If we wanted the discount, we'd have to talk to the Baron. Thoughts?
I've got 14 more if we want to go that route.
I
Like
think it's 11 more.
Barely scraping together.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
cool.
We got 100. We can go back to the dwarf dude and just book it from him. We can leave in a few days, he said.
How much more was there?
What?
What did you say, Shannon?
I said how much more was there?
For what?
25 more.
Okay.
Not
need
worry
100
about
gold.
getting it.
We got
We
it.
need 100. Yeah, we got it. We're
Okay.
good.
Yep.
Right. I will return to the butler. Second thought. Thanks. Thank you for your help. Bye. And then
He's okay. Yeah.
I'll just turn.
He's
and
like,
leave.
oh, yes. I expected as much.
And I'm going back to look for Joram.
All right. You see that there is a bunch of really burly people, like just absolute blocks of people, as wide as they are tall, just like picking up like several crates of oranges at a time and like hobbling away with them, and Jorum's just sitting there, arms crossed, like looking down at the ground.
Joram.
Oh, hello. I never got your name.
My name is Keel. Nice to meet you.
Oh, okay, nice to meet. Did you talk to Sir Baron Bellathor?
We got stopped by Butler. You know who Butler is?
Yeah, that guy's a narc.
That's what I said, my man.
Holy
Top.
shit.
Up top.
Yeah.
Is he a dwarf? Feels like vaguely insulting.
Fives are universal language. It's fine. Adjust appropriately for the dwarf.
Okay.
So you said we could give you 100 and we could get on a ship within the next few days.
Well, you need to. I need a few days to get the cargo loaded. Right now they're carrying it to the warehouse. Then I need to call in my favor. I need to go find somebody who can send to my friend and request him to take this as a favor. And you're gonna 100 gold, right? You didn't cut you a discount.
Yeah, but we don't have to go through Butler. We could go through you and we'll be A-okay.
Yeah. Vaguely, just don't talk about it too much, okay? This is kind of off the books, but
Okay. Not gonna screw me over, are you, Joram? We're having a good rapport here.
No, you're not my. I mean, no, I would
I
not
like
do
that.
Keel's still not wearing pants.
Pants now. I assume I have stolen some pants from one of the crew members. I've gone into
Raided
their
some
room.
drawers.
Yeah, found some pants.
Panty raid.
Tied up my robe in the meantime so that I'm not exposed.
Yeah. Says, yeah, I can get you I don't know what ship it'll be yet, but I can put something together in the next 2 or 3 days.
Right. We will. Okay. I will hand over. I will collect 100 gold from all the parties that have offered money.
Mm-hmm.
That will
take
become the
this. Remember, this is kind of under the table.
And remember, if you do not follow through on your end, I will make sure Lasco does not.
Okay. I won't screw you over.
All right, just making sure that we understand each other.
Yeah.
You know anything about what's the thing called? Agatha's quarry? You know anything about that?
Agatha.
Yeah.
Algeta?
Sure. Yeah, you know what that is?
Oh, that's a theater right outside town.
A theater?
Theater?
Yeah, a theater. You know, or performances.
Yeah,
and...
not Agatha.
Yeah, in fact, I was planning on going tonight, and he looks over at Lasco.
Ah! Lasco loves the theater.
Oh,
No.
does he?
Yeah.
I have no idea what that is.
He is from the mountains, so he might not be as cultured as you're expecting, but
That
can open his world to the possibilities of theater.
Yeah,
I'll,
he wants to open his world, alright.
Killing.
Uh-huh. Up top, Sean.
Hell
Up
yeah.
top. Sean. Top. Up top. Wow.
Anyway, I'll see you there tonight. Bye.
Well, now I have to think of a Dragonborn and a dwarf getting it on, so thanks for that, Ronan. And Austin, to be fair.
Austin did this. I did not.
60% of that.
I did not.
What have you guys done to me?
I guess we're going to the theater.
Lizard Fork have
Huh.
tails, right?
Yeah.
This is full
Okay.
cut tails, yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So what are y'all gonna do?
Oh,
Yeah, this theater. So,
got a few
taking it-
days.
Oh my gosh.
Lasco,
Yes,
Ooh, I like
Keel.
feel-
Yeah.
that's Professor Kale to you.
Oh no!
I'm not even sure
That
anymore.
makes this better.
Questions for you. do you feel about the theater and dwarfs?
I mean,
I don't like this.
I guess I'm kind of neutral about both, although I don't really know what a theater is. I've never been to one.
Right, well, see that dude I was talking to earlier?
Yes.
You are one fine lizard folk.
What? What'd you say? What?
He thinks you're
Yeah,
Muy
I get that a
bueno.
lot.
So annoyed.
He told me to keep it quiet, but he might be gonna take you to the theater tonight.
Ooh.
Did you arrange this for me?
Oh, just kind of. He asked for your name, and I said, yeah. I offered to be a wingman, and he turned it down. He wants to go about it his own, but I did give him your name.
So
That
he
you-
thinks that we're going to the theater together?
I think he might ask you to the theater. He thinks we're going to the theater, and he's going to the theater. So I think he thinks that he'll see us there at the theater.
Okay, so you didn't like arrange a date for me behind my
I
back.
did not arrange a
Okay.
date for you. I offered,
Okay.
but he did not accept.
Okay.
I offered, but it didn't.
It was nothing against you. It was,
I absolutely offered.
I
just
would
telling
if
you.
given the chance.
I'm just looking out for you, you know? I would have asked you first, of course. I would not just arrange one without your consent. Consent is very important.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well, I appreciate the heads up. I'll be keeping that in mind.
He seems very nice. I'm not his wingman or anything.
I'm
He turned
sure
that
he
down
is.
too. He seemed like a nice chap.
I'm sure he
Glasgow
is.
secretly hates dwarves.
Glasgow's just a big old
Super
racist
racist
against dwarves. Yeah.
I'm sure he's nice for a dwarf. I didn't like saying that. I'm not comfortable with that. I'm sorry. That's not okay.
Oh no. Everybody froze.
But, oh.
Oh, so whoever asked about the theater, that is what Algeta is. Algeta is a theater, and that is the note from the pirates. Algeta's quarry. Jakarr. Algeta is the name of the theater outside of town. Oh, since we have a few days until he arranges a boat, I guess we could go to the theater and check it out.
I arranged somewhere to sleep first.
Good call.
That's a bad idea.
Go at night when they're having a play, I guess. They're having something tonight.
Depends on what kind of theater it is. Actually, I'm from Jakarr. Would Algeta's theater ring a bell if it rang?
Oh yeah,
Oh.
hugely famous.
Oh,
It is like the cultural heartbeat of the
we're
city.
talking like Broadway, or is it
Sean.
like?
Like
okay.
they do everything, like plays, opera, concerts. Like it's just like a general.
Wow, I could have solved this problem some time ago.
You never asked.
Yeah, no kidding.
Huh.
Amazing.
You're like, man, what is Algeta's quarry?
I mean,
Fairmill's just drunk in the corner.
Yeah.
not now. Fortunately, sober. Though I feel like he definitely filled his flask up with the.
The moonshine.
moon-
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Apparently, I have a flask now.
Sure.
Vervain stole it from me, and then I got it back, and I didn't know I had it before.
So you see that large crowd of people is starting to disperse. And as they're like walking past you, you can hear them talking about some sort of war going on.
Oh, we got
You
it.
hear, gathering from the snippets of conversation that you hear, it seems that they are fleeing from Calrelion.
Oh, good. There's only two of our things are over there. Oh. We.
And they're basically saying some sort of war going on.
Gotcha. That's just random passersby.
That's like those people that you saw crowded on the docks
Oh,
with like
gotcha.
all their belongings and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, we saw a bunch of people on the docks and ignored them.
Right.
Yeah, they have, the big group has like dispersed. A bunch of them are going to all the tents and stuff on the coast, but some of them are like going out into the city proper. So, what do you do?
What time of day is it? Oh, it's 3 p.m. We'll go look for an inn or
Okay.
somewhere to stay tonight. Yeah.
Okay, sure. As you are walking through the city, you pass by all sorts of shops and warehouses and lots of very large residential buildings. You see that some buildings are like 3 stories tall, and that's like for one, like they're not like apartments, it's like an actual 3-story tall house with another house stacked on top of it. It seems that the
They're
buildings have,
distinct,
Like 3 houses.
yeah,
different, or
stacked up on
okay.
top of each other with like stairs going up to each of the entrances.
That's
Interesting.
And then, yeah, some of the buildings are like leaning towards the top, like towards each other, and there's balconies, and people are like chilling on the balconies, like talking to each other from across the street. And so going in between these buildings, it gets a little darker as the buildings like crowd out the sun at the top. And you see there's a bunch of people of all different purposes standing around. You see there's some people that are trying to sell you like food, like street vendors. There's people trying to sell you jewelry. There's people offering you like, oh, our bathhouse is the best in the world, our water is actually hot, and stuff like that. All sorts of like services, like, hey, you need a cart pushed, you need cargo hauled. You're just constantly assaulted with like offers of like service and people wanting to sell you stuff. One guy in particular, he's this very tan, like dark hair swept back. He's like pulling a cart next to you, and he says, hey, you guys look hungry. You want some, I got some sweets. You like pastries? Come on.
Bro.
Come on, super cheap, especially for you.
Me?
Well, you all.
y'all.
Oh,
Y'all, plural you.
Well, we are in
Much.
the south of.
Y'all.
We're in Texas.
how much for a pastry?
Depends. What do you want?
You have.
I got some of these, and he like stops in the middle of the road. People are like swerving to like get around you and everything, and he rolls up like a tarp, and there's like a little counter there, and he starts opening drawers, pulling out pans. You see this guy has like a stove, like an oven in his cart that he's like baking stuff as he's like going by.
Wait, we've invented street
The old
carts.
food cart.
Yeah, and he like pulls a tray
I mean.
out, and it's like these balls of dough that have been like fried, so they're kind of crispy, and he has
Ooh.
dunked them in like these cups of syrup, and he's like, hey,
Yo.
you want one?
And what's that called? What's that pastry called? Come on. Girl over here. Is that good?
Yeah.
Should we buy
Come
it?
on, Shannon.
I don't know what it's called, but yeah, it sounds good.
You
What's
want
it? Dough and
What else you
syrup.
got? What else you got?
Kalosh.
Well, look at you, Shannon.
I got this one, and he pulls out like a little like flat cake, but it's like covered with a layer of like melted cheese on the top. And he says, you like this one, huh?
Pizza?
It might look kind of weird, but trust me, the cheese is sweet. You'll love it.
Oh, like a Danish?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Nice.
Sunny.
But it's more cheese, like it's like a really thick layer of like.
Cheddar cheese.
Pizza
That make me
Danish.
hungry. Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
right.
Okay, I can tell you're not interested. Oh, how about these? I got some cookies, all right? Made them myself, my grandma's recipe, all right? Here, and they're like little round cookies, like really flaky. And he breaks one apart, and you can see that there's like mashed date in the middle. And he's like, you got here, you know what? Free sample on the house. Just for you.
Yeah. Nom nom.
What do you think?
Yeah,
It's
it's pretty
got,
good.
the outside is like a really strong like honey / like buttery taste, and then the middle is like the sweet the date that like explodes when you bite into it. What do you think, huh?
How much of the pastry?
Well, which ones do you want?
For the cookies, I enjoyed those.
Cookies? A dozen for a silver, huh? How's that sound?
Oh, how many cookies do you have?
Dozen for a silver. Oh, how many do I have total? Oh, I don't know, about 4 dozen. I don't.
All right, I'll take 2 dozen for a gold.
What?
Wait, no, that's not how math works. Sorry.
I just throw 4
I mean, 2
silver
dozen
at
for a
him.
gold. Oh, deal, hand it right over, you know?
Yeah, I'll give him a gold. I don't have any silver, so.
Okay.
I have silver. I'll give him silver.
Okay. Thanks, Sean.
I give him 4 silver, and take the whole thing, all his cookies.
All my okay, I don't have anything that can hold that many cookies, but
Oh well. Starts pouring out this.
here, and
No,
he like
no,
dumps
no,
them into
no.
a bag and hands it to you. Anyway,
Pouring out the
so
bag again.
you're from out of town, right? And he like picks up the cart and starts like moving next to you as you're eating your cookies.
Recently back in town, really.
Oh, recently back. Yeah, okay. What are you all doing here? You know, where are you from? Where were you? What'd you do?
Mountains, school,
Oh, the
the
Astralis.
world.
Edge of the...
Bit of everywhere, really.
Oh, okay. Are you guys heading anywhere particular, or...
Oh.
Okay.
Are we? Yeah, we're just looking for a.
Oh, I thought
Like a
that
nice-
was the dude that was asking. I thought he was trying to get me.
No.
to narc on
Are
the
you guys
door.
like...
So we're just wandering the streets. looking
You're
for
just
someone.
wandering?
I think we're kind of looking for a tavern. I don't know. Maybe I would know a good one
Okay.
that would cater to adventurers.
Well, you know that your organization is based here.
Yes,
Are you looking for somewhere sanctioned by them?
probably.
Okay. Do you know one in particular, or just wandering until you see one that you remember?
Probably the second one.
Okay. Yeah, sure. So he's like, so, you've been to the edge of the world then, huh?
For a spell, yeah.
Oh, well, you'll have to tell me about that, right? Huh?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Look at Maribel as
we got
well.
plenty of time. You know, we got plenty of street to cover.
Wait,
We're not
you've
going to
been to the
run
edge of
out
the world
anytime
too?
soon.
Well, that's
You go
where
there.
the ship, the Borealis, used to fly there. Obviously.
Ah, easy. I heard of the Borealis before this.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Edge of
just
the
another ship. Yeah.
You, Sean White. I'm asking the DM.
It's just another ship that's been out there. I don't think
I
that
don't know.
I think you
Yeah.
might have been there at different times, because
Sure.
Fairmall did a bunch of stuff before heading out there, and you headed out there pretty early in your life, Keel.
Okay.
Oh, right. I forgot that you
Yeah.
mentioned earlier he'd been Edge of the World.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Oh fuck, I forgot that.
Yeah, he mentioned that that got brought up earlier, and I got lost between the moonshine dwarf and the fucking space whale.
So, what was that like? Did you see anything crazy out there? How were the storms? You know, did somebody ever fall off, and do they really fall forever?
Well, I didn't get a chance to ask anybody.
Oh man, you're pretty good. You're pretty good.
No one fell off while I was aboard.
Oh, okay. Oh, what a shame. I mean, not a shame for them, but you know, what a shame for science. Nobody ever knew, you know.
Are you
Anyway-
volunteering?
What?
Are you volunteering?
No. I got, you know, I'm fine with my life right here, you know.
Selling desserts on the street?
Yeah, it's great. I get to talk to a bunch of people, meet a bunch of people. Where are the rest of you from? Are you all from here? No, not much of a talker. Okay.
Is that
Um,
a college?
I started talking and the rest of y'all got quiet.
I'm not from here, no.
Oh,
Isn't
okay.
I'm not from
somebody
here.
else from here?
No.
No.
You're the only one.
I don't know where I'm from. I could be from here, but I'm not sure. Do I look familiar to you?
Actually, now that I think of it, yeah. You do look kind of familiar. You
Wait,
remind me of
really?
a guy who definitely needs another pastry, huh? 5 copper.
48 cookies.
I have literally no money on my person. I'm sorry.
Oh, you know what? I've been there before. That's all right. No shame.
I had a gun. I gave it to someone else in trade. Sorry.
Well, that's okay. Well,
Terrifying thought.
Kept my
All right.
bullets though. You want a bullet so that he can
what
get a
would I
pastry?
do with this?
I don't know.
Oh, that's kind of worthless to me now.
Okay, I'm just offering.
Are the rest of you guys really broke?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Dumb.
saying. You're like,
I
what do you
literally
know?
have
I don't
0
know.
of everything. Yeah.
I have 24 gold.
Me and Kais are just sitting there like, all right.
Yeah. And
Maybe Lasco too.
Lasco broke?
No, Lasco's
no.
doing the I have money.
No, I got
phase,
money
but
too.
No, I got
Oh,
a
okay.
little bit
Keel's
saved up.
Keel's just a dick.
I mean,
Lasco's just rolling in it.
I offered to give the dude a gold for his pastry.
No.
I just looked at what he.
I wonder who has the
hilarious.
most money. I'm really curious.
I'm not telling, but it's pretty funny.
Lasco's sitting over there just like
Damn it,
his scales are actually all gold plated. Scrooge.
I was like, yeah, I guess
also
I'll
the
pitch in
Scrooge
10 more
McDuck.
gold. Why not?
And then he keeps rambling at you for a good 20 minutes.
At some point, I'd ask his name.
Yeah. He says, "Oh, my name? Oh, it's Siddiqui. At your service, pro pastry baker, deliverer, and salesman."
Do you have an actual bakery somewhere?
Oh, I got my bakery right here.
Gotcha.
And he stops.
He's got
sets
some
this cart
buns,
down.
am I right? But
That's a good one. I'll add that one to my repertoire. Hey, come on in, everybody.
We go in.
Wait, what are we going into?
where are we
He
going?
stopped in front of a building, and he's like, "Hey guys, come on in."
Oh, what does the building have?
sure.
A sign,
Oh, no.
label?
Is this like his house?
It's just some building.
Follow Ravane.
I happily go inside.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
following.
Is there
Shocker.
any kind of anything designating what this building is?
No. It's just a building.
Probably just where he's squatting.
We're gonna get fucking robbed.
Yeah.
It's like, come on in,
Oh, this
everybody.
dude-
And he pulls
If
out
this
some
dude
keys
tries to rob
and
us, I'm killing him for
he
real.
unlocks
Oh, yeah.
the door, and he's like, "Come on in."
I eat some cookies as we walk in.
All right, yeah. He opens the door. You smell this really sweet, cinnamony smell as soon as you walk in, and you can hear water running in the distance. And he turns and he says, "Oh, hello, everybody. I'm home. It's been a great productive day at work, and I have some new friends for you all to meet, of course. Oh, hey, Nana." And he keeps walking by, and you see the person that he was talking to is a very old woman, kneeling on a cushion near the fireplace, hands clasped in her lap over a little cup, steaming. And she looks over and says, "Oh, hello, dears." And he keeps walking in, and he keeps going. And so there's this hallway with a little room off to the side, and you keep going into this very large, almost open air. So there's a roof over your head, but there's a middle courtyard with pillars, and it's all open air. You can see that there's this these like cloth rolled up that can roll down to cover it, but overall it's open to the air. And this cinnamony smell is coming from a stove where there is an older man standing with a pot and like a spoon, and he says, "Hey, Siddiqui, oh, you brought more friends back, huh?" And there's another older woman next to him who's like mixing something in a bowl, and she says, "Oh man, I hope it's a wife this time." Looks over and says, "More friends?"
Wow.
Hi, son, Lilo.
Says, "Oh, you know."
Could be a wife.
I said if you want to be
let's
optimistic.
Ella's taken. Back off.
Well, he sees that there's like 6 people walking in.
We can all be his wife. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And he walks in and says, "Everybody, my grandfather and my grandmother. That's Kareem and that's Shamira. My family. Hello, everybody. I have new friends. I met them. I sold them all of my cookies. Aren't you proud?" And they're like, "We would be. You can't keep doing this. You have to get a real job." And he's like, "Oh yeah. Anyway, back through this way." And he just ignores them and keeps going through the house. And he says, "Well, so what are you guys' plans for the rest of the day? I still got to introduce you to my dad, my sister." And then he starts listing like names, like rapid fire, like you lose track of how many names. Like, "You guys have to meet all of my family." Well, I like people to, you're my friends, you bought my pastries, and you're from out of town, you seem pretty cool, and you said you'd tell me about the edge of the world and everything, so I figured, hey, why don't you stay the night, stay a few days, and we can meet my family, we can talk about, You're not stabbers, are you?
Oh no, we're absolutely stabbers.
And definitely if you try to do something, this is real red flags popping up, dude.
What are the red flags? Do you not like my grandfather's cooking? Does this offend you?
Yeah, your pastries
like
were
sitting down
fine
and
and all,
eating at
but
this
like,
point?
why are we in his house? Why are we in your house? Like,
Well, I'm just you seemed like you didn't have anywhere. You were nice to me.
For someone to stay.
did you bring people here?
What?
Bring people that you sell things to, like, often?
I mean, only the ones I like, obviously, my friends.
Weird.
What? Yeah, I mean, you don't have to. I'm just saying, like, if you guys seem pretty cool. He's just stop and chat with you, right? Right?
I mean, we did just randomly talk to a moonshine dwarf. That was an entire, day of our journey.
No, you're not interested? Okay, look, I can tell you're weirded out. I mean, yeah, that's true. You guys are from out of town. Well, okay. All right, yeah.
This is just sad.
You're gonna, rob us or something?
What? No, I was... No.
You lonely?
No.
No.
What the fuck is going on here?
No, look, guys, look, we can, my grandpa, he's making us some food, we can have some dinner here, you guys can sit,
Sure,
we
we'll
can talk
stay.
about,
we-
I can teach you some
Are
cool
we supposed to
card
go to
games.
the theater tonight?
I like cards.
Meet the dwarf?
Oh, yeah, we have to go to the theater tonight.
Oh, you're going to the theater. Oh, I could come too. We could go to the theater. Yeah.
You a skilled hireling by any chance?
Hey, a what?
I mean, he's skilled with cooking, obviously.
Yeah, all right. Yeah,
These
I'm
cookies
down.
are great.
Cooks utensils? Yes.
I guess if I had to put an arbitrary value on my my
God
worth
damn
as
it.
a person, it
Yeah.
would be a skilled hireling.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, sure, you can come with us.
Yeah, Oh, I heard it's an opera. One of my favorite ones. It's about this guy. All right, this knight. And
We have a note somewhere that mentioned the quarry.
it was a note that you found on a pirate's body in the mountains.
Okay. Do we have like a physical copy of that somewhere?
It literally just says, "I'll get us Corey Jakarr," but there is a copy of it in the journal under
Gotcha.
lore.
Sorry.
Yeah, so it's this opera, right? I heard about it. It's about this knight. He finds this necklace, and it possesses him and makes him do all this crazy stuff. But I don't want to spoil the end of it, but it's pretty cool. It's one of my favorites. You know, the fights, top notch. So, we gonna go to the theater tonight, huh?
Sure.
You know, you can stay at my place afterwards. You know, you don't even have to worry about stumbling around hammered trying to find some random hostel or something. You know, you can. I got a place to stay here. You know, I'll even cook you breakfast in the morning. How's that sound?
Oh, that sounds well.
Delightful.
Is anyone against this idea?
I mean, as long as we don't have to spend any more money.
Alright then.
Seems harmless.
Yeah.
Everybody
That's the vibe I try to give off.
Toothless.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Anyway, so theater tonight?
What
You
time
guys
is
can
it?
drop
Like-
off your stuff here, you know, if you got other business to attend to. You know, my nan doesn't let anybody ever touch anybody's stuff that I bring here, so you know what? She got eyes like a hawk, I'm telling you, back of the head.
And a level 20 sorcerer.
She sounds hot.
Gil.
Oof.
Gil?
I mean, in her prime, from what I've heard from my
No.
grandfather's story,
No.
you know, she could get it, but anyway.
Clearly she did.
Never mind, I don't want to
What do you guys want to do? You know, my grandfather, he's making us some food, or he's making some food. It could be for us, you know. We could play some
You
cards.
said cards?
Yeah, we could play some cards.
Oh my god, you're gonna fucking rob this man of the money I just gave him.
We could play some cards. You know, we could get out there, go to the theater, have a great time, come back here. You know, it's gonna be great. You know, you can tell me all about your travels. How's that sound?
Could be worse.
I can tell you're skeptical and or overwhelmed. That's okay. I find that I have that effect on people. You know what? Here, I'll go check on dinner. You guys you can chill out here. And he walks back to the kitchen.
Amazing.
So, what do you do?
We wait.
Until he comes back.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything else to.
All right, he
Go
comes
help
back.
Granddad cook.
He comes back eventually. He's like, so you're still here. Does that mean that you're less skeptical?
A little skeptical, still willing to go.
All right,
Still-
that sounds great. You know, it's a date then. All right. So let's go eat some dinner. We're gonna play some cards. Then we're gonna head to the theater. And we're gonna have a great time. How's that sound? You guys are
Alright.
really quiet. You know, usually I can draw it out of people. You know, but you guys are like made of
We're very
stone. You know.
focused. We're very focused.
Yeah.
There's
No.
nothing wrong
Very-
with not
very
talking at
focused.
the time.
Well, that is, yeah, that's true. I do find it's kind of boring though. You know, if
Letting
just
you
sit
take
there
the lead.
and you know, saying it, well, I have been, but you know, it's like I'm talking to a brick right now. You know, I don't want to be rude, but you guys got to step up your game. You know, you got to tell me all about stuff. You know.
Sometimes people just like to listen.
Watch it, Cookie Man.
Okay, haven't heard that one before. Great one.
I throw a cookie at Keel. Ow! You said
Yeah.
cookie.
Anyway, let's go check on dinner, and then you know the opera awaits.
I don't like the way you said that.
All right, that's where we'll end it for today.
What are
Amazing.
we doing? What is happening?
I have no idea.
Apparently we're staying with a cookie man.
I guess
Yeah.
so.
This guy's a weirdo. I don't like
I
him.
like how this is the one that everyone's like, he's a weirdo.
His family
Not,
kept
the,
turning us
not
into cookies.
Moonshine Dwarf.
He's gonna kill
A
us. in our
moonshine
sleep.
dwarf was
Yeah.
clear expectations, and I can navigate
Exactly.
that.
We knew what we were walking
This
into.
is- some random dude on the street inviting us into his nondescript home.
I feel like
Right.
this very much feels like
He doesn't have a
It's-
basement, does he? Doesn't have kids in there.
On that amazing
Find out
note, thank
next
you.
episode.
Thank you
Anyway,
everyone
We're still
for
streaming.
watching. We will be back next week with another episode of D&D. We love you all. Good night.
Into game.